long as I get there safe, like I really don't care. Like,
well, that's what submission is. That's what submission is that you.
Down that I think everybody is at some point deserving to receive love and to be even into marriage if they do aspire for marriage.
I believe that society shapes how we view things and how we look at things in our life.
Make your own bed. And that's basically what Kevin Samuels is saying. His delivery is what people kind of throws people off. But basically,
aggressive or like violent, like where I think toxic masculinity is
no offense to men, that they also get this idea that, you know, women are just going to take care of them and everything is going to be like easy.
A domestic violence shelter, and he brought her up to be, you know, a $25,000.
Hell yeah, you need to judge in dating. It is what it is. You know, you can't not judge people just because you feel bad about it. Like, you need to know.
As much as I love my daughter, there are some harsh realities and some things that her mother and I teach her in order to help her to understand.
Like, I'm sure everyone knows a woman that, you know, had sex all the time.
What is going on, people? How you doing? This is Clement with CKQ Podcast. I'm your host. And before I introduce our panel list, Chris, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We go live once a week, every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So we have our panelist, Chris.
hi. I hope everyone is doing well. My name is Chris. I have a channel called The Blooming Ebony. You can also find me on Instagram at The Blooming Ebony. And I hope you guys enjoy this show. Hit that like and subscribe button for CKQ Podcast.
Awesome. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Everything's good?
Yes, the weather is weird. It hailed twice today, randomly.
It hailed? Do you guys typically get hail over there? Oh, jeez.
I guess we do. No.
Okay.
Possibly.
Right.
No. It's weird. I feel like it's weird this time of year. And it doesn't seem too cold. So, yeah, it's kind of odd, but possibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa. StreamYard's been changing up a lot of different things. So it's like, I got to kind of get used to everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. But let's start with this. I want to show you a quick clip. We'll go into talking about it. All right. How you feel about that?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, cool. All right. Share screen. Boom. So, fair use. Move this over here.
I feel like guys that pretend to be something is someone just to sleep with somebody.
And we.
Y'all not gonna like this. Okay, so y'all might agree. No.
We agree.
People don't like when I say this, but it's the truth. It's literally a level of mind to me. Because if you literally are sleeping with me and
I've never even heard that. I like that. I don't
I know. But it's a real thing. If you literally are presenting this person to me just to get in my pants, and I'm thinking I'm sleeping with this person, and I'm building with this person and whatnot, and you're literally here just to play me and f me over,
that's strange.
You've done a version of it. Might not be you. You didn't. You didn't hold me down in the alley. You didn't hold me down in the dark alley.
This is our time now.
But that's
but mentally, you put me in a position to believe one thing, and that's not who you were.
Exactly. Catfishing is catfishing across the board.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, so I'm gonna say this. So I wanna put put balance to this conversation. Please. Because I do feel like while that is true in a lot of situations, there is also an opportunity for my actions to be misinterpreted by you.
Sure.
Okay.
Through your perception.
Correct.
How many times have I shown you or told you that I'm really not interested, but in your mind you believe I was?
There's actually a lot said in that, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint where exactly I want to go with that. So I ask you this: when people tell you some things about themselves, is it sometimes hard to take it face value?
Is it hard to take it face value?
Mm-hmm. Like, let's just say there's a guy that's saying, "Oh, I don't really want any kind of relationship."
Mm-hmm.
But then women will still take it that way, or vice versa. Like a woman is kind of like, "Oh, I'm not really about this," but a guy still ends up falling for her and thinking that she's going to be, good marriage material, and then ends up not really.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think part of that is someone tells you who they are, you listen for the most part, especially if it's negative, right? Or if they're saying something that you want and they're saying the opposite, you listen to that and you walk away. It's not like, so there's two sides to that. So there's the men that say, hey, I don't want this. And then women still try and pursue it, or they'll say that they do, but then they really don't, right? You don't listen to those types of words. Things like that may be getting you closer to the thing you want, you need action for. But when someone's saying, I don't want to go any further with you, you need to listen to them say that. Does that make sense? Like, you kind of question the words when it comes to, how can I say it? You question what they're saying when there's more risk involved. You need a little bit more proof.
You question what they're saying when there's risk involved?
If that makes sense, right?
Give me an example.
So if someone's saying, oh, I'm going to marry you someday. Oh, we're totally going to be in a relationship. Oh, I really like you. Things like that. You don't just take that face value. You hope to get some type of actionable proof, right? So whether that's an engagement, whether that's, for some people it's a title, some people it's marriage, it's something actionable, right? Whereas if he's telling you, I don't want a relationship with you, that's a bit different, and you shouldn't expect to change him from that point, if that makes sense. That's just a warning. Like, that should be appreciated, if that makes sense. Take that face value.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to changing people, any level of a relationship style, it's never a good thing.
Yeah.
But isn't change do you think change is healthy in a relationship though?
Depends on how you're trying to change them.
Meaning, like, if you're not trying to change them, but if they're trying to change for you, would that be a good thing?
If they're trying to change in some aspects, yes. Like if they're trying to lose weight, right? Mm-hmm. Because now they're saying, hey, I want to be married someday. I want to live longer with my partner. I want kids. Mm-hmm. And they try to lose weight.
Okay.
For that reason, I think that's a healthy change. But let's say, what's a good example?
Because this is a hard one, I think.
It is. When it comes to like changing your religion, right? That can be a tough one.
Changing your religion?
Yeah, changing your religion. There's something, it may not be a good thing to change just because you want to be with that person, right? You need to kind of think that through. If you don't want kids, but you're thinking maybe I'll have kids with this person. You don't want to be married, but this person's like, well, maybe they'll want to marry me, right? If I show them that I'm marriage material, things like that, you shouldn't want to change. But I do think, when it comes to like health, trying to better yourself, basically, if those benefits will last, even if the relationship ends, that makes sense, right?
The changes are good for you
overall in the long term as well. So even if the relationship ends, you losing the weight is still a good move, right?
Mm-hmm.
it's going to benefit the relationship, but it's benefiting you as well. So even if you move on, you can still benefit from that change. But changing your religion may be something that you regret later on. And, having children, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I want to throw in, greetings everyone. Tu madre. How you doing? How you doing? I'm gonna throw a quick curveball at you, Chris. Not even a quick curveball. Something we've already spoken about. I don't want to throw that one in here yet. One of our questions.
Up to you, sir.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to throw that good one in there yet. Women are born being valuable. Let's talk about that one. Women are born being valuable.
Mm-hmm.
What comes to mind when you think of that? When you hear that?
Femininity. So femininity is something that doesn't require accomplishment, right? So with femininity, you kind of this is kind of hard to explain because in a sense it's not limited, but kind of think about it as you kind of have it all to begin with, but over time things can happen to it that cause it to not be as pure, right? So you start, you go through certain experiences and it kind of starts to taint your femininity. You encounter the feminist movement and they're telling you that you shouldn't be feminine, you should be masculine, right? So that you start getting conditioned to not be feminine. So most of your life, you're just trying to protect this thing that already exists. Whereas the best way to explain it is by comparing it to the masculine, whereas you become more masculine as a man, the more that you accomplish, and accomplishments typically take time. Right. So over time, you're kind of learning where you're valuable and where you're useful in the world. Whereas women, they kind of know it immediately. And it's kind of forgotten over time. It can be forgotten over time or damaged over time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more like you replenish it. Like you replenish femininity, but you kind of build masculinity.
Okay. Fantastic.
Good. Thank you.
How you doing, Restless Vibe? Thank you guys for being in the chat. If you haven't already, hit that like button, please. It'll help us out in the video. Also, if you want to join the conversation, the link to the combo is at the top of the chat. What I wanted to ask you, women are born with value. You were saying what about femininity. So now I've seen to run into women that say like, like femininity is kind of like, femininity is almost like a hoax, kind of like men say they want feminine women, but they don't really want feminine women. The women that are being feminine, they're just kind of like playing the pick me dance and all that stuff. What are your thoughts on that?
Those are the men that they're dealing with. Possibly, I think. I never had that experience. Playing the pick me. I can see it that way. Like the women are more so just doing enough to attract men, but they're not actually there mentally. But a lot of times when I hear women say that, it's just, I think they've had bad experiences with men. They date men that are in their feminine, and that's what they're attracting. And so when those men try to step out of that masculine, those men don't like it as much. So they take it as, sorry, I thought there was noise coming from outside, but is he playing music? Yeah. Car? I forgot what I was saying. The music's
nice. My bad.
No, it's okay. The music's nice. Yeah, I lost my train of thought, but I think hopefully I didn't cut off that point completely. Okay.
Women being feminine, the women that find it's kind of they see it more as an annoying thing. I want to say like that. The lady that you sent me before, Raw B, what's her name?
Raw B Privilege.
Raw B Privilege. She's someone that I can see her calling a lot of pick-me's or saying like women that are being feminine or claiming femininity are a lot more like setting women back.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. So I think there's a discrepancy, like there's a misunderstanding of what femininity is. So I think a lot of people think that femininity equals like modesty, it equals conservatism, being more reserved, being poised, but that's completely separate, right? Like femininity is just it's hormonal, it's estrogen, right? You do certain things that we do as women boost estrogen, right?
Yeah.
It's just based on whether or not you're producing enough estrogen, or what you're doing is producing estrogen. That's really all it is. But they take women that are more poised and reserved, submissive, agreeable to be they find that annoying, and then because they're being put together, they're being used interchangeably, they think it's femininity, but it's not. The reason why they don't like it is because I think sometimes when someone is showing you something that you aren't, it can trigger you if you don't think that you can have it too, right? I think that they're taking something from you by being that thing that you don't believe you are.
Okay. So they just see it's more of like a you feel attacked by them just being the thing that you're lacking.
Yes, it's like they're a threat to your ego.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw the heavy hitter.
Okay, brace myself.
Yeah, you're gonna be ready for this tonight. So. I kind of didn't want to, but if it's just me and you here, so I think I didn't want to throw it in, and we could always do another show about it. Did you get stuck in the girlfriend trap?
Oh, the girlfriend
Did
trap.
you get stuck in the girlfriend trap?
That is a heavy hitter. Thank God he's here.
Unique.
Hey.
How you doing? I like your hair.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I did it the other day.
Nice. That's nice.
How y'all doing?
Fantastic. How about yourself?
I would have actually been here at 8:30, but my computer started acting up. I had to turn it off, turn it back on again. Yeah, I was trying to get in, but it said something about my thing was being used by another program.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay.
I'm glad you're here.
There's definitely a question that we need to ask you about restreaming after the show.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, but as for right now, we're going to ask a question to the panel. Did you get stuck in the girlfriend trap? Did you get stuck in the girlfriend trap? Chris, start us out.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, oh sorry, is the echo bad?
It's not too bad.
Okay. How's it now? Okay.
Pretty good.
So,
yeah.
The girlfriend trap is basically for women that want to be married, but it's like DMX's wife is a good example of that. Someone who never quite, or not wife, his girlfriend, never quite became a wife, but let's say she wanted to be, but she stayed with him for so many years and didn't quite make it there. That makes sense. So did I get stuck in the girlfriend trap? I would say in college I did. So in college I was dating this young man, and we dated for about 3 years, really, really long time. And I was thinking, okay, when we graduate, we're going to get married. Maybe we'll talk about it eventually. Ended up breaking up, I think senior year of college. And I was crushed. This whole time I was like, oh, I thought we were definitely going to get married. But what I didn't realize is that I had never made that a requirement in the relationship, right? I was just hoping that eventually he would change, right? He would catch up and he would just figure it out. But the girlfriend trap is when you basically, it kind of loses that sense of urgency among the man, where you're playing a role, right? You're kind of acting like a wife, you're supporting them, but because you are kind of playing that role and they're getting those types of like wifely benefits, it doesn't give them that push to actually marry you, right? Because there's no real reason to at that point because they already lived their life. So yeah, I've definitely gotten trapped there before. You're on mute, Clement.
Thank you. I'll pose this question to the panel then. How long is too long to be stuck as a boyfriend or girlfriend? Let's just say girlfriend. How long is too long to be stuck as a girlfriend?
I guess it depends on if you want to be just a girlfriend or if you actually want to be married.
So we're gonna talk on behalf of the people that want to be married.
Mm-hmm. I would say 3 to 4 years. I mean, I don't really like to put a number on it because I feel like people should come into that on their own. Like they should already have that mindset that they want to get married. Like the guy, like if you know you want to get married, that's something you should already say in the beginning of this relationship. Okay, we starting out right here, but eventually that's what I want to do. But if you never say that and that person never brings it up, how do you expect to even leave it that way?
So now they brought it up. You guys have had conversations about it. And it's like, oh, I'm not ready right now. We're not ready. We need to buy a house. We don't have enough money saved up yet. I want to do it, but we're just not ready yet. Are you stuck in a trap? Are they playing? Is it is it a game? Is he tricking on you? Like what's happening? Yeah.
I mean, I know somebody who was with somebody for 12 years and they kept saying, yeah, we're gonna get married, but never took any steps towards that. And it wasn't until they actually, I encouraged them. I said, you want to stay there because that person is very happy with you just being how you are right now. He's not going, so I mean, if you're going to stay there, then that's fine. But if you want something else, you should move. So they took my advice and they actually moved. I mean, they should have discussed it with the person first. They didn't. They actually moved, and then, the guy came home and seen that, his kids and everybody was gone. I didn't tell her to do that. But yeah, she didn't even tell him. She just started packing her stuff, and he's like really blind because if you ain't see this lady packing her stuff before she left, you ain't see boxes around the house, and then just come home and like they all gone. But anyway, so what happened was after she did that, he was kind of devastated, but then he needed help, so she let him move back into her new place because he was getting put out of the old place. He couldn't afford it by himself. That's the main reason he probably was with her, because he couldn't afford it. You let him back in. He moved back in to a new apartment, and that's when she put her foot down. If you don't marry me within the next year or so, you out.
And they got married.
He said, okay, I'm gonna marry you, I'm gonna buy this ring. Yeah, they went looking at it. He said, I'm gonna go home and tell my mom or whatever, and I'll be back with it. He ain't come back.
Dang.
He just got her. He just did that to get her back. Yeah, he ain't never come back. He was already moved in and, with somebody else. He was already moving in with somebody else. But he told her he was going to marry her, right? So, yeah, we do fall into those traps. I've never fell into that trap because after 3 years, a lot of my relationships would either, implode or, we just drifted apart. It was either imploding or drifted apart. And most people wanted to marry me. Like my husband in the first year, he proposed. So, and before that person, after 2 years, he proposed. So I've had a couple propose.
Dang. You got a wife. You got a wife on the panel. Dang. Men just trying to lock it down real quick. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, everybody. But
to
I
you.
never got stuck in that long. The reason why me and my husband took 4 years to get married is because I decided to put a hold on it, not because of him. Yeah.
Okay. Chris, what do you think?
You can get stuck in it though. Yeah. Go ahead.
How long is too long to be stuck in that?
Me?
I'm getting some background noise from someone.
Oh, Chris. Okay.
No, it wasn't unique. Yes, John.
What you hearing?
It sounds like someone is talking.
TV.
Yeah, it sounds like TV or something.
It depends. It depends. So, okay, I think 4 or 5 years is too long. If you know you want to be married, I think 4 or 5 years is too long. Like once you hit that 4th year, it's you need to figure out what's going on there.
Right.
But I think it could also be too long if you know you want to be a wife, and the day that you agree to be the girlfriend could be too long, right? Because it's like why agree to that if that's not what you want to be, right? And what does that entail? So it depends on what the girlfriend looks like. But for a lot of people, a girlfriend means you're exclusive, you're probably going to live together, you're splitting bills, right? You're basically living like a married couple. And I think it's anywhere from, that first day that you agree, depending on what that looks like, if it's looking more like a marriage already without the actual commitment, to about 4 years. But I think when a woman needs to really reconsider some things, I think 4 years would be the mark. You also have to pull an age, right? If you're like 34, 35, I personally think a year.
A year. Well, yeah. What was it like? Once you're in the 30s, it's kind of just a year. Anything beyond that, and then it's like expedite.
Yeah. Because at that point, you're probably dating men that are older. I feel like they should know by then. So if you're approaching the wall, so like 28, I don't think you should be spending too long with people in that girlfriend phase.
4 years is too long.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
John, what do you think? We haven't gotten you yet.
Man, yeah, bro. Come on, man. A year is all you need, if that. What you think you're gonna find out? Everything is a mature. Y'all got to grow together. Like, period. That's why you date. Like, that's why you got to date with a purpose. If you dating for a girlfriend, but she's dating for a husband, she shouldn't date you. She should not date you. Stop dating because you think this dude got money. Stop dating because you think he might be a good stepfather. That's not why you married this man. Nah. If you dating for a husband, date for a husband. Date for the dude who likes to talk about getting married.
So then how long is too long? Well, I'll throw us this example.
2 years.
There's two people that they've been dating for some time, but they don't live together. They live separately, but they're still boyfriend and girlfriend.
How long they been dating?
8 years.
Man, hell no.
No?
No. They both scared of commitment. That's why they ain't moved in together. That's why they ain't sharing no bank accounts. That's why they ain't doing none of that. They both scared of commitment. When you don't live with somebody, you're not 100% committed. You can't say that you're 100% committed. How?
Yeah.
How are you 100% committed?
That's true.
You still take care of yourself more than anything.
At this point, though, listen, I'm the bystander of a friend, and I'm hearing this. I'm listening to this. They quarrel every now and then, but she'll sleep over, he'll sleep over. They do what they can to keep the spark going.
No, they do what they can to satisfy their natural urges.
As a bystander, what am I now telling them? Should I, or as a friend, not even a bystander,
okay.
As a friend, what should I be saying to them at this point in time?
When are y'all gonna get married?
Oh, we're not ready for that. I don't think we're really.
So why y'all still together? Why you stealing her youth? And why you letting yours go to waste?
Ooh.
Y'all obviously see y'all know y'all better than everybody else know y'all. And it's something about her is keeping you from pulling the trigger. And it's something about you that's keeping you from pulling the trigger. And she sees something in you that is keeping her from urging you on. And it's something that she know about her that's keeping her from urging you on. It ain't gonna work. And y'all know it's not gonna work. That's why you're not going through that effort. Neither one of y'all are putting no effort in.
I guess when it starts taking longer than, let's just say, 3 years, then both see something wrong with each other. Then at this point,
boyfriend and girlfriends don't have obligations.
I'm asking the panel, what's your thoughts on men and women who are no longer in a relationship but still expecting to be treated like a boyfriend girlfriend in terms of obligations?
There are no obligations between a boyfriend and a girlfriend. None.
Yeah.
Like a woman can't even really get me to stop talking to her if I'm interested if she says she got a boyfriend. The only thing that stops me is a husband. If you don't say you got a husband, I'm not studying that dude. Because that boyfriend can call you, text your ass while we talking and say it's over. Now you don't have a boyfriend. Look at there.
Ladies, what do you think?
That's a H to the E double hockey stick, no. You don't get no privileges if we ain't together. If we ain't no longer together, why am I? We could be friends, but the other privileges is not happening.
Not even privileges, but obligations. Like there ain't no obligation with no damn boyfriend. I ain't obligated to do shit with you. I ain't obligated to pay nothing for you. I ain't obligated for nothing. You ain't got my last name.
That's very
period.
I agree. Because why am I still treating you like a boyfriend and a girlfriend if we are no longer together? Are we together or are we not together? That's too ambiguous. But I've known people to just have fuck buddies.
Got it.
They have fuck buddies where they used to be boyfriend and girlfriend, but every now and again, when somebody needs something, they come and get it.
Shout out to you, Stanley. I see you over there in the chat. I gotta reach out to you, man. We gotta hit the gym again.
Yeah, not Chris for me. They don't. No, Chris said that as far as like the girlfriend trap thing. She said that if you're in your 30s, then you only should be dating for a year before you get married.
But I'm more like red lipstick dad. If you know I don't give a damn if I'm 19, 20. I'm gonna have to learn like 19, 20, right? If I feel like she's showing me that look how beautiful a 21-year-old, right? Now it's gonna be a rough marriage. The only thing you gotta figure out is she loyal and resilient. Is he willing to be, does he have a plan? Does he understand his role as a man? That's all she really needs to know. Because the other stuff she can pick up on.
Interesting.
So she's not because neither one of y'all got shit. She can't judge you. Like it's like this. If you're gonna marry somebody, you gotta figure out, especially when you're young, right? Is this woman somebody who is a builder, or does she already want someone who's established? Because if she wants someone who's established, but she's dating you because she knows that you're not established, that means that she's expecting some shit that you're not going to be ready to do in the next 4 years. You're not going to be there with her. Like, you're not going to be where she wants. So each day and each month and each year is a disappointment in her mind. And she will eventually grow away from you. But if she's a builder and she understands that she don't mind sleeping on the floor with you till you can buy a bed. If she don't mind y'all going to the $2 buffet because nigga y'all actually put that shit together to get 2 plates. It's but you ain't just sitting around neither. Your ass work and you go to school. And you ain't got a dumb major. Like, she knows you're gonna be successful because she sees you committing. You committed to school, you committed to work, you committed to her. So yeah, she'll sleep on that bed and y'all play on y'all phones because you ain't got a TV yet. She'll probably work too, and y'all enjoy each other, and that's y'all can build. So if both of y'all like that, you'll work. It's just when you put one with the other and the other with the other one, that's when the shit don't work. And that's what people have a hard time. Younger couples have a hard time figuring out.
I think
Which one, that type person.
Though.
Huh?
I think 6 months to a year is too short.
Nah, it's good.
Because you haven't really been through anything with that person, and you don't even know how that person gonna react to any type of stress that might come up in your life.
I mean, but then doesn't that go like vetting questions? Doesn't that go into asking a lot more?
You can ask all you want. You won't know until it actually in there.
Fair enough. Or putting them in situations where it actually will throw them off.
Or just watching this motherfucker's behavior on other situations. You don't have to have that exact situation. Like, for instance, if you around somebody and and people get loud and it makes your dude nervous, is he confrontational? Do you have to let a nigga come and get in his face to know this nigga probably is not gonna fight nobody? Like, I don't have to see you get beat up or see that to know that if people get loud, you get nervous. You're not a confrontational person. And I don't want to hear nothing about no. He could have, man, shut up. If a nigga get nervous when people get loud, that nigga is not confrontational. He's just not. So I don't need to see what he'll do if this dude do something to me. Man, you might have to fend for yourself. You might have to fend for your goddamn self.
I don't think that's a good example.
Oh, it's a great example. Niggas who are confrontational, you can get loud all you want to. Them niggas don't flinch.
No,
they ain't worried.
Who just don't like being in crowds, don't like being around people who are loud. They don't, they don't like that. Doesn't
don't
mean that
like it and being nervous is two different things.
Don't mean they won't put hands on a nigga if they
don't like it.
Don't
like it and being nervous is two different things.
But
nervous speaks more to anxious and anxiety.
Form of nervousness. Not liking it is a form of nervousness to me because you don't like it. You like, oh shit, all right, let's go. Let's get out of here because these niggas is loud.
But this also a good example though. No matter how long you date, you're still not going to know a person. Exactly. You are forever getting to know each other. So why date years and years?
Exactly.
Ain't no need to it.
One thing that's important. Huh?
Go ahead, Chris.
You know, person gonna be on their best behavior in the beginning anyway.
Oh, you're getting their representative.
That's it.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Chris?
One thing that's important to know is if we're in our roles, typically I think couples do better when they revert back to their natural roles. You have to worry about resentment and things like that. And oftentimes the couples that get married fairly quickly, the woman's very feminine, the man's very masculine. He's providing, he's protecting, and she understands what it means to submit to his leadership. She respects him. It basically, like in other cultures, they do this all the time and it works out very well and they're married for years. This idea of you grow in love with this person, right? You're going to marry them and you're going to have a solid foundation in the beginning because this person they met the basic requirements to just be a healthy man. This woman met the basic requirements to be a healthy woman, and you're coming together and creating a healthy relationship. And over the time, with that commitment, right, you are going to build something great. So I 100% agree. I personally think it's completely normal people get married after 2 months. I think that's completely normal. Personally, I think if that person has been vetted by your father, your uncles, your cousins, he's doing what he has to do.
No, you need.
I got a perfect example. Somebody who's in their 50s or 60s, maybe close to 70s, met somebody. She loved him or whatever. You know, they met only like maybe about 3-4 months. He moved. He proposed to her within that small period of time because they real old. You know, they ain't got too much longer. She all happy and everything. He moved in. Bam, she got sick. He ain't helping taking care of her. He ain't even go with her to the hospital when she had the surgery. He not doing none of the things that why she was marrying a man at her age. She wanted somebody to take care of her. I mean, she only known him for maybe 2 to 6 months and then agreed to marry him. But because of that situation of her having surgery and him being all nonchalant and not really caring for her, now she's considering not marrying him. So what if she would have married him right after 2 months? And this is the person that you're supposed to live with for the rest of your life that don't even care about you when you sick?
I mean, I feel like there's a lot more to it than just that.
Hold on. How do you know? But that's not good. How do you know? This an old school nigga. Old school cats don't play that shit. They don't treat girlfriends like wives at all. They do not do that. If she would have said yes and I do, maybe the outcome would have been different.
They engaged.
But because like I said, you ain't got my last name. Engaged. That's it. You can change your mind to get a ring back today.
That I'm engaged to that don't cater to me if I'm sick. Because if you're sick, I'm going to do the same thing.
But
maybe go ahead.
You have to vet them. So your father, your uncles, your cousins, the men in your family, all these people are vetting this person. I didn't say anything about you love this person and you decide to marry them. There's no love. There's this person does what they need to do. This person has values that are similar to mine. I'm going to marry them and we're going to grow together. The issue is that people get married simply off of love. Someone makes them feel good and they decide to marry that person. They wonder why it fails. And it's more than just that, right? If you can meet those parts in the beginning.
I gotta stand with Unique on this side though. Like, engaged is not married. Engaged still counts for something. Like, I mean, this guy's engaged. I'm promising that this is the person I'm going to be taking care of. So why not actually put my foot forward and show that I can actually be that dependable person? Like, why are we saying that like engagement is still just as good as girlfriend? Like, nah, he should be. If he's engaged to this person, he should still be putting his best foot forward. Like, at least showing up to the visits or something. Like, is that
a girlfriend and boyfriend dynamic?
None of that.
A girlfriend and boyfriend dynamic is very similar to engaged.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
How
There's no change in a girlfriend and boyfriend dynamic and
engagement. I'm not pledging my love and saying, you know what, this is the person I want to have my last name as a boyfriend and girlfriend. You're not doing none of that. When you engage,
and y'all niggas, okay, what if you have a 5-year engagement?
If you were telling your family, hey, listen, we broke up versus we broke up our engagement, which one do you think they're not going to look at it the same? We broke up our engagement versus we broke up. Like, one holds a lot more weight than the other.
Listen, in terms of social, yeah. But in terms of just thinking about it, no, the hell it don't. No, it don't. Period.
I don't know.
And in some states, the girl don't even have to give the fucking ring back.
Yeah, I would.
Some states they do, some states they don't.
Most of the time, it doesn't even matter. But
look at the climate in which we live, bro. Niggas and girlfriend and boyfriends, after about 6 months, they move in together. Them niggas is acting like married people. So how the hell engagement is gonna make any fucking difference between that and girlfriend? It's the same dynamic. I'm not talking about is it the same, does it carry the same weight? Socially, no. But it's still the same dynamic. Ain't nobody said, dude, you just promised. You promised your mom to wash the dishes and you didn't do it. You promised to come home on time, you fucking didn't do that either.
Fair enough. That's gonna be the same. The dynamics of how the relationship is gonna work, then fair enough. No, fuck that. No, I'm not gonna agree with that one. Like, there's no way.
Don't work the same.
It still counts. It holds more weight. And if you as a man are stepping into the engagement role, that should come with, I would say, more perks than, still less perks than a marriage, because the marriage, given
the climate that we're in.
Hold on. Let me finish up. Let me finish this.
All right, finish up.
It should still come with just as much perks as marriage. The only thing that marriage actually does is now you can bring the government inside, get tax breaks and different things like that. That's what adding the government in it does. But an engagement should be, hey, listen, I'm going to be taking care of you. You're going to be taking care of me for the rest of our lives. It's
gonna be
against the world. No,
Will. These are all futuristic ideas in which you don't know. But a woman will also accept a nigga who will say, hey, look, hey, shawty, I ain't really trying to marry you for real, but I want to hold you down. She ain't gonna just kick that nigga to the curb. Promise. She ain't. At all. And you got the same dynamic, especially when y'all live together. Back in the day, when the shit was done right, but like when everybody went so oversexed, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you was a boyfriend and girlfriend, nigga, you was kissing. All right?
Okay.
You wasn't touching no coochie. She wasn't stroking no dick. Y'all was just kissing. That is it. Now, you put a ring on her finger, you're a heavy pet. She'll make out with you. But she'll try to keep you from going all the way. But chances are you could go all the way if you put a ring on that finger. It was a distinct difference between that shit. That's when it carried all the way. Because if she did give you something and she got pregnant, that shit turned to an instant decision. It's called a shotgun wedding, where the daddy come over there, put that shotgun on your ass and tell you to get the fuck up, let's go to minister outside waiting. But it don't work like that no more.
But did you not say to observe somebody and observe how they move, and that's how you know them?
Yeah.
So I'm observing you engaged to me and not giving a fuck about me. So should I marry you? Because that's what I'm observing. You know what I'm saying? I'm observing that I'm engaged to you, and all of a sudden I get sick, and now you don't even give a fuck. So
you got to take all that into consideration. Yeah. I'm not saying she should have married the damn dude. I'm just saying that you gotta, when you dating somebody, man, you can learn so fucking much about somebody each conversation that it knocks months and years off of the damn discussion. Months and years. Let me ask you something. If you out on a date, right, and this man, y'all talking, and this man keep looking down at his watch, what is that telling you? Anybody answer, ladies, answer. What is that telling you?
He's got somewhere.
He keep looking down at his watch.
He got somewhere to go.
Yeah,
okay. And he keep looking at different women who come in, but he not gawking. He just keep looking at different women coming in. Not men, just the women. What does that tell you? And he's looking at his watch. What does that tell you?
Not paying attention to you, or he's not bored. He's not engaged in the conversation.
Chris, what does that tell you? He keep watching the women, not watching the men, and he keep looking down at his watch. What does that tell you? What idea does that put in your head?
He's not interested.
Yannick.
He waiting for somebody else to come in.
Come on, hold on. You on it, but who is he waiting on? He keep looking at his watch. He keep watching only women. What is that fucking telling you? This is a huge ass red flag.
He's looking for a girl.
He's got a girl. He's got a woman. What? And he's watching to see if her damn friends are coming in there. Oh shit! Oh shit! This is why women need vetting from men. Right here. Perfect example of what I'm talking about. Cause we up on the game, bruh. Come on, man. You know this nigga ain't probably got no child to go home to. It's possible, but highly improbable. He on a date with you and he talking about how much he care about you, this and the third. And he gonna pay for the tab, but he keep looking at his watch. He listening to you, talking to every bit. But every time a woman walk in, this nigga is like looking to see if that's one of her damn friends. Or looking to see if that's her. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is the shit I'm talking about. You have to watch that. Quit looking at his fucking eyes. You got some pretty eyes. Fuck his eyes. You got some, fuck his lips. Ain't nobody got that. Watch his body language. Watch what makes him nervous. Watch what makes him excited. Because if he really like you, he gonna make eye contact with you and ain't no fucking thing else in the world gonna fucking matter. Do that mean he's single? Nope. Nope, it don't. It don't mean he's single. So you still gotta put other shit together. But this is what you should be looking for. Is he making direct eye contact? Does it feel like he is staring straight to your soul? And kind of watching the words come out your damn mouth. He's so into what you're saying. This nigga like you a lot. He's very interested. And it's not just sexual. Because if it was sexual, he'll try to be more touchy-feely. Slightly. Not real obvious. He'll find a reason to touch you. Brush your shoulders. Stroke your hair some kind of way. Get some invisible lint out your hair. Oh, wait. Right here. I can see it now in the light. Let me just
see that? There
grab a whole handful of hair just to pull out some that big. He just wanted to stroke your hair, and you turn around and look at him like, girl, he stroked my hair and I inherited all them goddamn problems. I shouldn't have never let that nigga touch me.
So let's drop this to the panel real quick. What tu madre asks. So what makes a person okay to sleep with and have kids with that person, but not consider that person good enough for marriage? Oh, that's a modern day question.
Yeah, I mean, because you did everything in reverse.
I mean, that's someone that just doesn't value any kind of marriage.
Hold on, I think I know where she. Wait. Hold on, let me read that again because I don't think she put it in reverse. I may have spoken inadvertently. I may have spoke out of turn.
Let's drop the previous one. Drop this one. Even after vetting, a person may prove to be the wrong person for you. Vetting works for the most part, but it's not 100%. This is going to work out. Fair enough.
That's true. Nothing is 100%.
Nothing's 100%, but that's why you know, trying to live a life with someone is always going to be a risk. At some point, you got to take that risk, or buy a dog, die alone. So what makes a person okay to sleep with and have kids with that person, but not consider that person good enough for marriage? Shoot.
Okay to sleep with and have kids. You, nigga, if I'm trying to get you pregnant, I'm thinking about marrying you.
You
like I'm married to you.
Not everybody think like that.
Cause think about it.
Nah, bro, I'm not finna intentionally. My shit got separated on an accident. I was with them girls. I ain't trying to just go out here and have a fucking straight baby. I ain't trying to do that.
So now would you still have a kid before marriage?
Would I have one before marriage?
Would you have a kid before marriage?
Like physically, she'd be pregnant before marriage. Yeah, I would have one before marriage, but we already know we both on the same page.
Okay.
In other words, if I said let's just have a courthouse wedding and go get married, she would go get married. Like she would marry me. I already know that.
Okay.
Like I just wouldn't have them damn baby out here in these streets, just some random. Yeah, like I don't really want to be with this girl and I'm fixing to breed with her. Hell no, nigga. You know how much trouble come along with it? Hell no, I ain't doing that. No.
Most of my childhood things that I proclaimed to some people when I was younger, like 16, came true, except I didn't become a doctor. That's the only thing that didn't happen. I wanted to get married first, then have kids, because I've seen so many people just have kids and then maybe get married to somebody else, not even the person they got kids with, including my mom and dad. Like, at 3 years old, they were done, and she got married to somebody else. Same thing happened to my aunts. They got married to somebody else, and had kids, and got married to somebody else. So I didn't want that to happen, so I proclaimed that for myself. So I don't know if the universe was listening to me, because there were scares before I got married with other people, but it just never happened. So I think that's how it should be. You should be married and then have kids, because just having kids out of wedlock it's like harder on the child.
I swear, and on you. I reigned for 19 years as a bona fide hoe. And it wasn't until I decided to stop being a bona fide hoe, that's when I had a baby. Right? Oh shit! And I was with her for 6 years. Then I was with Jamarcus' mom for 9. So 15 years of my life, was tied up between those two women. I was not trying to just.
Them?
Huh?
Why didn't you get married to either one of them? They had your babies.
No, I did get married to Donovan's mom.
Donovan, okay.
Yeah.
How about the other one?
Nah. Nah. We talked about it. We was engaged. She got mad, threw the fucking ring. And I was like, nah, you that over hyper reactive, but the baby was already here at that point. You feel me? And we had a date and everything. When she threw the ring, the date got pushed back. And I kept thinking about this $4,800 that's around a fucking drain or wherever the fuck it went. It just, I'm like, there's no reason for nobody to get that fucking hype about nothing. And she got mad about nothing. And when I say nothing, I do mean nothing. She still apologized about that to this day.
Floor, you mean?
Nah, nigga, she threw that shit at me outside in the fucking environment.
What's wrong with her?
In the wild.
I got mad and I just put it from my finger to my chain. That's all I did.
That's right.
See, put my finger and just put it around my chain.
See that. Let me tell you something. So when women do that, out of anger, I won't marry that person. Because your first thing is to leave. That's like as soon as you get mad, you immediately look for a separation
or hurt.
Nah,
they want hurt. They want anything to hurt.
See, listen to what I'm saying. You deal with the hurt by removing the bond that I'm trying to make with you. So no, you're not the one. I would not marry that person. That's just me. Everybody else can do what they want to do. I'm just telling you. No, I'm not equipping that. You get mad at me? Come tell me, hey, look, man, we need to talk. I'm mad at you. I'm mad as fuck at you. Like, I love you and everything, but we need to talk because I can't. This won't work for me. What you talking about, boo? This, that, and the other. Oh,
that's the mature way.
All right, that's the only way with me. Like, damn, we grown.
That's the mature way. That's the mature way. But sometimes when you get in your feelings and emotions, you don't act mature.
That's true. That's true. I'm just saying that shit would scare me. I might let her do it one time and come back and revisit it. And then, but when we revisit it, we gonna have to motherfucking like, she gonna have to reassure me that like, this is not a thing. Like, this will never happen again.
Well, I ended up asking him 4 years later. Like, I had it after a year, and then like in our second year, I just took it off my finger and put it on my thing right here. And then I moved out. We moved separately. And then maybe about 6 months or 8 months after that, I was like, okay, I'm ready to get married. And then we got married. I planned it and we got married. Because I wanted to see how, because I've never been alone. Like, I've always been from the next boyfriend to the next boyfriend to the next one. When I met my husband, I was with somebody. So I wanted, and I felt like maybe I was rushing it. And I was like, well, maybe I just need to live by myself for a while and be by myself for a while. And I found out that
you got old real quick, huh?
Yeah.
Oh no, nigga. It had help. I know the story. Oh, it had help. She realized that. I ain't gonna say nothing. But nigga, it had help.
He was there for me more than anybody. So
well, he sure was, and he came for you
separated.
Put that damn size 12, 13 down. Hey,
whatever,
let me tell you something.
I ain't talking about no sex stuff. I'm talking about
nigga, ain't talking about no sex neither. I'm talking about that motherfucking alpha up on your ass. And say, listen here.
Why you keep calling him an alpha? He's not.
Man, whatever. I done seen Jason in action.
But that's not. We don't subscribe to those things.
Yeah, okay. But he don't, for real. He really don't.
Because he has a range about him. So
he do.
He's not. 100%.
But when that alpha be jumping out every now and then, I just put it like that.
Damn. Sounds good. Sounds cool. But I want to throw this question at you guys for the panel. Are there such things as good lies in a relationship? Are there such things as good lies in a relationship?
Nope.
No? Everyone thinks
I should answer this question.
Nope. You should be able to tell that motherfucker you wear everything.
should be able to. Can you always
Yep.
tell them every single little thing?
Yep.
You can't.
Nah, you should be able to tell them every fucking thing, bro. Well, then don't do the shit that you can't tell them. How hard is that?
No, I'm not talking about doing the stuff. I'm just saying you can't always, like, how can I say?
Give me an example.
Your perspective on that other person. So a lot of times, like, do you talk about tell about yourself or tell about them?
Okay, like most time, a good lie in a relationship, people are talking about like something that will spare your partner's feelings. I don't like saying partner. Excuse me. Something that would spare your girlfriend or boyfriend or your husband or your wife's feelings.
That's what I'm saying. So good lies, okay. That's what I'm saying. There are things.
You don't like that? You don't think
No,
that's good?
I don't lie. I'll tell him.
You'll tell him.
That's lying. Even not telling them is lying, you know.
I'll tell him. Yeah, I will tell him.
Oh,
okay.
I mean, I know how to tell them in a way that's not fucking rude or no shit like that, but I'll tell them.
What if sometimes
you better not text me if you want to know the truth, because I'm gonna tell you.
No, what kind of thing?
Yeah, sometimes it's just kind of like, hey, I mean,
I will not tell you what the fuck.
Not, but that's what it is. Like, you know.
But I've learned to suffer from telling the truth.
What's that?
I'm a sufferer from telling the truth. Like, I've always been that way. Like, I'm a bad liar. So a lot of times I just tell the truth. But I've learned that sometimes you just don't say anything, because sometimes when you tell the truth all the time, people don't take it the same way you saying it. You can say it as nice as possible, and they still will take it the wrong way.
Go ahead, Chris. I've been talking a lot. Go ahead, Chris. You don't talk that much at all.
I think there's such thing as I don't think there's any such thing as a good lie, but I think there are things that are okay to omit. For example, like if let's say you're in a really bad relationship, 5 years ago, domestic violence or whatever, some abuse, assault, something like that, and you've gone to therapy, you've healed it. Is it necessary to tell your partner if you don't want to? I don't think it is. I think you can accept it, and then if you can forget it. I don't think that they have to know that at one point in your life you were victimized, right? Assuming you've healed it and you've moved on, there's no reason to dig it back up and explain it to somebody else and have them process what you've already processed and spent thousands of dollars processing. So I think there are okay omissions. There is things that if it's not bogging you down and you become a better person, there's no reason to dig up that past person and tell that person who, tell your husband, your potential spouse, your spouse, those things, right? Unless there's a reason to, right? If you're still going to therapy for it, if you're still dealing with it, that makes sense. But I don't know the reason to dig.
Okay, now I get you. Because I was getting ready to say, now I came from an abusive relationship into the husband, so of course I told him he was there. He seen someone. So I mean, yeah, I think the other person should know if you haven't healed. Like if you've healed and you're not even thinking about it no more, and it doesn't trigger you and it doesn't affect you anymore, then yeah. But if it still does, then that person should know not what to say and what to do.
So how I found out through dating and being a whole, just how many fucking women really appreciate a straightforward, truthful nigga. So that reinforced me to tell the fucking truth and deal with whatever the fucking consequence was from me telling the truth. And what really nailed that shit home, I think I was about 21 and I was dating this shorty, Puerto Rican chick. And I would do this thing. Like, she liked to accuse me of shit. She was like, I know you was out there. We went to the beach and shit together. She was like, I know you are just looking at all this ass. I said, I ain't gonna lie. The red bikini got a fat ass. It's beautiful. I mean, yours is kind of like yours, just a little bit bigger though. She was like, she got mad as fuck. Like mad. She walked off. She wouldn't talk to me. But then she noticed that anytime she ever asked me some shit, she would end up like that. But when a motherfucking dude, it was a hater from another unit, wanted to talk to her, put her to the side and said I was doing XYZ at the club. You know what she said? Said you a goddamn lie. Because if he was, he'd have fucking told me. And that's when I always told the fucking truth. I ain't never used that shit talking about some, you got a girlfriend? Nah, I got this girl, we just sleeping together though. She be coming over here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You trying to be Wednesday and Friday? What's up? Like, I can't believe you just said that. What fuck, you want me to lie? I mean, if you're gonna have sex with me, you need to know I'm sleeping with somebody else. I mean, that's just being responsible. I don't understand. You told me? Yeah. Well, I can't get mad at you for being honest. I mean, damn, you could have lied. And she comes over on Wednesdays and Fridays. I mean, that's the way the shit worked. I mean, so yeah. If she asks you if she look fat in this, she don't want to. She of course she wants you to say, "Oh no, you don't." I'll be like, hell yeah, we're gonna start going to the gym on Mondays and shit. Tuesdays, I'll walk with you too, cause I'm getting fat as fuck.
Yo, those are the ones that you should be like, "Oh, you're beautiful."
Fuck that.
Now the ones about sleeping with many different people and you coming on this way, yeah, I think women would appreciate that.
Where I get thrown off.
Man, I gotta tell you, if you with me and you blowing up, I'm gonna fucking tell you.
Lie on which ones you don't gotta lie on, which ones you gotta sugarcoat it a little bit.
Or just tell the fucking truth all the time and deal with how she responds.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's much easier to tell the truth, but then it's dealing with the repercussions of telling the truth. It's kind of like, okay, now
they ain't that bad.
Now you're just gonna ruin the mood. It sours the mood. It's like, why do I want to do this?
I think that's true, Clement. Like, a lot of women, they'll say that they want their husbands to do certain things, but then when they do, their response is very negative, and it's like you're giving him negative reinforcement. So he's not going to want to tell you the truth later, because when he does, you get mad at him and you yell at him and you punish him. It's like, why would anyone want to keep doing that thing that they get punished for doing? So then you're basically,
I want you to do this, and then you do it, and you punish me.
But you got to know how to get out of punishment, nigga.
No, she needs to learn how to.
How can the women just control themselves?
Well, yeah, women do. They do and receive the truth, but that ain't gonna happen. Most of the time, them motherfuckers is gonna respond some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna feelings get hurt, get a case in the ass. You know how a woman gonna be. But you got to learn how to, like, soften it up, make it up to her. Like, you got to know how to make her come around. Like, you got to know how to just either back off if she needs it and then come back around. So, like, if she asks me, did I look fat? I'm like, yeah, that will make you look fat. The other one, you can't quite see your belly. Pull your pants down some because it make you have a pooch in the front with the way that these is cut. So pull them down and then you won't see the fat so much. And then Monday, nigga, you going to the gym with me. Like, nigga, you gaining weight. I expect you to tell me that.
You gave a solution.
Bill break bill, nigga. Bill break bill.
The woman has some weight to carry there too. She needs to communicate better, right? She needs to say, "Oh, it makes me upset. I need a minute. I'll be back." You know, like, she needs to communicate it. Like, we put so much pressure on the men shaping and being flexible for women and their emotions. She needs to figure out herself and say, "Oh, that makes me kind of upset. I just need a moment," or "Tell me this. I may get mad, but I'll just step away and deal with it. But I'll be back later." Right? We need to learn as women how to deal with that, because we cannot expect somebody to do things that we want them to do, but we punish them for it. Then expect the man to then work his way out of punishment. This isn't like a happy wife, happy life type of thing. We both have to work together and have better communication both ways, because that's going to be exhausting. And you can't apply that in every single relationship, because one day calling her fat makes her upset. Like, how are you going to gauge what's going to hurt her and what's not? What's too soft? What's not soft enough? That range, women, we're unpredictable. Right. So at some point you're going to end up getting in trouble, because you're like, man, no matter what I do, I'm still messing up. She needs to figure out herself. She needs to learn how to control her emotion. You wanted the truth. He told you the truth. Deal with it. You don't like what he said. Just say you don't like what he said. But there's no reason to blow up on anybody. And we need to really work through that mindset of men just have to figure it out, right? That's just how women are. No, if she's just crazy, you probably shouldn't be with her. Like, she needs to figure it out.
So now, Chris, I'll pose this question to you then. If two people are in a relationship, how is the man now going to work the scenario you're talking about? Beautiful scenario. I don't think it happened as easily. So how is the man going to work that scenario so that she can understand that, in your opinion?
How can a man work this?
What can a man ask to her to make her understand that, hey, you might need to work on this yourself?
I'm sorry, I still don't understand. What can a man ask?
Mm-hmm. What can a man ask? What can a man do? What can he say? What can he say to allow her to see that she needs to figure this out on her own instead of expecting him to say something then lashing out at him?
Oh, like bring down her crazy?
Correct.
Oh, that's a hard question. Just say, that's one thing where you can tell her, like, maybe John knows. I don't have the answer to that. That's one thing that she has to, she should be learning emotional intelligence. But if
he asked you a man question.
Yeah.
That was a question that go. If you was a man, I'm not really sure how that feels, but I'll try this. I'll take my best crack at it.
He wanted to know what would she take from the man, like what could the man say that she would be okay with hearing and take that advice. So only a woman would know that, like if they say it in a certain type of way.
Not really.
I mean,
any nigga who you know your partner is about the man knowing who he's dating. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Not really. You understand what I'm saying? You know your partner is about the man knowing who he's dating. Okay, somebody listening to the podcast.
So
yeah,
maybe you can comment on her weight before she's a baby and she can take it. But what if she's had a child and she's more sensitive to it? So you knew her before she had a baby, but now she's in a completely different body. You don't really know this woman, right? Her hormones are different. So it's like, you know her, but again, it's on her to figure out how to control her emotions. There's not a ton. A man can ask, he can say, do you want me to tell you the truth? Or do you want me to make you feel good, right? He can ask those types of questions, but she needs to also know what exactly she's looking for. If she knows that she's a bit, she has a bit of a fuse.
Or he can come right to her and acknowledge. Women like an accountable nigga. They like that. They like a dude who's accountable. So if I read your body language and I feel like I hurt your feelings, right? So like with Chris, she might say something and take a minute and step away, but she's gonna bring it back up later on. I already know she is. Like, you know what I'm saying? So somebody with her personality. Like, she ain't gonna blah right back at me right then unless that's how I approach her. Then she might respond in kind. But if I just hurt her feelings and she needed a minute, she'll step off. I'm like, okay. So I hurt her feelings. So you go to her if she had a personality type like Chris, and Chris, you chime in here if I'm wrong any minute, anytime you feel like it. But I will go to her like while she's in her moment of solitude, right? Waiting to get her words together before she come back and tell me. I'd have my words together already because I'm wordy anyway. And I'd come in there where she is and I would sit down, I'd take her by both hands. I'd be like, hey, look, I hurt your feelings earlier and I'm sorry because that's what I was trying to do. But we've been together all this time because one of the things you appreciate about me is my honesty. And maybe I came across a little too brash. But what I was trying to tell you is we can work on this together. But I'm super attracted to you no matter what. But hell, I gained weight. You done put on a few pounds. You done gave me this beautiful baby boy. I got you. But it's a new way for us to damn date. You feel me? We can just have gym dates. We can have gym dates. I get to see you in them little sexy biking shorts and everything. You feel me? And then she smiled a little bit. Oh, I'm still sexy. Hell yeah. You just gotta come to her. Don't be afraid of the fucking woman. I mean, quit being afraid of her. Just Go and tell her go tell her you sorry and sit there and then acknowledge the things, address what she really fucking wants to know. Nigga, is you still trying to get this or what? Or am I just ugly to you? That's what she really want to know. Are you still attracted to her? Let her fucking know that you're still attracted to her. It ain't hard. It's not rocket science. Lying is fucking hard, nigga. You hear me? You gotta remember that shit. You gotta remember every lie you ever fucking told. Fuck all that. Nigga, you better tell her the truth. And then she becomes aware. And one or two things that happen. She gonna respect your truth. And it really puts it makes our relationship strong because niggas can't just come tell her no shit about you. Cause she know you gonna tell her. She know that. She ain't gotta worry about what the fuck you thinking. Cause you gonna tell her. And that gives her peace. Cause if something's wrong with the relationship, guess what? That same nigga that tell the truth is gonna say, hey, look, we got problems, shawty. Look, I'm tired of this. Like, you've been talking to me like this, and this. I let it go 2 days in a row, and I don't know what's wrong. Talk to me. Why are you snapping like that? You out of character. What's going on? He ain't gonna be, that dude is not gonna be the one who sit around and fucking make up all this shit in his mind and then be mad as hell and then come in there and put all of it off on her so she can yell back at him and now y'all fighting. And then when you try to make up, you're a liar and she know you be lying and that shit will come to the forefront. She knows she looks fat in them fucking jeans and all that can come from you lying to her. Like, she know you just said that shit to make her feel better. So subconsciously, when she asks you about this woman that her girlfriend seen you with, she's gonna think you lying to protect her fucking feelings. Because you trained her that you'll do that. That when she needs you to tell her the truth, you're not willing to do that. You would rather protect her feelings. So it works both ways. You understand? Tell the truth, but have the fucking wherewithal to be able to calm that negative response down. You feel me? Or if she take it positive, is she taking it positive or is she laughing to keep from crying?
So now, okay, so you are someone with a gift of gab, though. You know, 20 years, amazing car salesman, all of Alabama. You can talk, but not every guy is you. So now, if you're still talking to the average guy, still wants to tell the truth, then what? He wants to tell the truth. She gets mad. She goes in a rage. Now what?
He naturally should want to fucking go and console her.
Okay. So he should always just go try to console her after telling her the truth.
Man, that's boo, man. That's boo, bro. You notice how dads don't treat little girls the same way they treat little boys? It's a fucking reason for that. That's boo, man. That's your babe. She get that special. You feel me? If boo upset, calm boo the fuck down. I don't care how you say it, nigga. Just calm boo the fuck down. Whatever you gotta do, whatever works for you and your girl. Because your girl, a woman will tell you how she wants you to treat her if you pay the fuck attention. And if you don't know how, then you deserve every fucking cussing out you get. Because your black ass should have been learning what the fuck you been doing these last few years. Not paying her no attention. You got niggas who have successful relationships. Them niggas can literally go shop for their wives and they don't take nothing back and will wear it all. Them niggas can go and pick out a fucking Valentine gift and won't be nothing like the last one. They can go get birthday gifts and she gonna love that shit. That's how in tune they are with their girl, bro. That's how men gotta fucking be better at listening, paying attention, and being there. And on top of all, be accountable.
Accountability.
Like, for real.
Like, every time your child throws a tantrum, like, there are times where you're kind of told to just ignore them, right?
Mhm.
So let them finish their tantrum and they'll come to you and they're ready, right? So every time your wife throws a tantrum, do you go console her? Or are there times where she needs to kind of figure it out on her own and come talk to you like an adult? questions, right? Because
I ain't trying to raise
like to encourage that. Like every time you go storm off, I'm gonna chase you. Every time you go storm off, I'm gonna chase you.
Yeah,
and that is something worse, depending on what those storm offs are like. It's different things to go take a minute and you let them have a minute, and then after a couple minutes, you go and check on them, right?
Or I just tell them to come here.
But if they're storming off, they're angry, they're cursing at you, do you chase after them and then apologize and then kind of like, are you reinforcing that behavior is okay and that every time you're just going to accept it? I think there are other questions that have to be asked there. Is that healthy?
At that point, it comes down to choosing your battle. Then, really, like, do you really want this to be something that this is a hill you're gonna die on, versus just go to her, versus like, no, she needs to understand that she needs to come back for this one.
Man, I'll call her in there.
I think the bigger question is, maybe you do that now, but is that something that you want to do for the rest of your marriage? Like long term, is that something that you want to keep doing? You have an argument, they get angry, they curse you out, they run off, you console them. Like, is that something that you want to keep doing over and over and over again if you keep having arguments? That's the thing. Or is that a pattern that you kind of want to interrupt while you can?
So let's get Danielle and Tack in on this. What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
How are you guys?
Fantastic, Danielle. It's been like ages. How you been?
Good.
So, Tack.
I was on mute. I apologize. I was saying hello to Chris, my sister's keeper, Naked Night, Dr. John. What's going on?
What's happening, Tack?
KQ, what's happening?
Fantastic, man. So, what do you guys think of the conversation? Joining.
I've been listening for the last hour. I just got back to the hotel room.
Okay, good. So, anything that you've heard so far that you're confused on, want to chime in on?
I mean,
are there such things as good lies in a relationship? Let's just start with that.
I mean, I get it. I think individually, we just have to be mindful of who we're dealing with. I was in the I'm not a relationship expert. It's my weakest point. And like, I had a few of them, and that's the proof of it, right? And I ain't never been married. So here's the deal, though. I was in a relationship. I think this one girl, she ate her way out of it, right?
Oh, man.
Hell no. She did.
Huh?
Say what she do?
Ate her way out of
it. Doc said some niggas like them big ones, but he ain't one of them.
I'm serious, like.
That's why I'm laughing, because I know you're serious as fuck.
But I was in another relationship, and this girl developed a sizable appetite, right? And
appetite.
Yeah. So how it works with me? This how it works with me. Once I care about you, the weight means less to me.
Facts.
But I gotta care about you, right? So on the onset, I don't go looking for
250.
The bigger. There you go. The challenge, right? I don't go looking for the challenger, right? But hang on. I do like thick women. So it's like slim women. I don't go looking for
olive oil.
There you go. See, Dr. John know all the key words. That's it. That's not my thing. The Holocaust is not my thing, right? But you could be really small, like, really small, petite women, and they petite, but they have that layer of body fat. Even though I'm saying real petite, where it just is good.
Yes.
And I mean they petite, but I'm telling you, you can't see their heart beating. They got enough. Right? Now, this is what I mean about bigger women. I don't have a problem dating a bigger woman because that shit look good to me. I just don't go out and search for the obvious obese. Now here's the deal. Once I'm in a relationship with you, the obesity that comes, that means less to me. What I try to look for is, are you being affected by your weight? And if I can see in her that she's not happy with her body, I'm going to start saying
150 pounds.
It doesn't matter to me. It's going to hit me second. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say the other girl, she ate her way out the relationship. It's going to hit me second. What's going to be my priority is when I start seeing that your movement and the energy you giving off about you being her is being affected, that's when I'm going to start weighing in. Now, and here's why. When I'm in a committed relationship, it's all about giving because I already care about you, I already love you. So I'm looking for a reason to be supportive, to be there, to whatever. So I'm looking for you to not have a good day, for you to not feel good about your being. That's what I'm looking for. Me having the issue with the weight will be secondary. My first sentence is going to be, are you having an issue with your own weight in terms of that? That's kind of where I pivot from. Yeah. Because once I love you, I love you. Now I'm not going to marry you.
I think that's what most guys too. Is like once they're in the relationship and it's like, relationship weight happens. So it's you're okay with that. But Danielle, I see you, Cocker Spaniel over there. So what's going on?
I wanted to hear the rest of his sentence.
Oh,
you
right.
said I'm not gonna marry you,
but
no, I'm saying obviously I wasn't looking for a wife because I've never been married, so it has nothing to do with that. What I'm saying is the weight ain't the thing for me. Like I don't think about me if I'm in a relationship and weight becomes an issue for her. I think about how she feels about it because I want her to feel good about her. That's what's important to me. If she feels good about herself, I'm good because I already care about you. See, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
If I find out you can't read that well after I care about you, I'm not walking away from you because you can't read that well. That's all. That's what
I'd hope at the first date when she couldn't read the menu, that would have been a sign. But
I teach you how to read.
I mean, that's just my thing. I'm not. The weight itself is not a game breaker for me because typically, if it's going to happen, it's going to have to happen after I'm in a relationship because I typically seek a certain body types. That's at the end of type.
Yeah. Let's drop this question in real quick. Oh, go ahead, Chris. And then we're going to tackle this question. Go ahead.
Quick comment. It's funny because Kevin Samuels is always like, men don't care about your degrees. And they're over here saying, I'll teach you how to read if she looks good. It's like, point made. That was so
point taken. Men don't care.
Men don't care about your degree.
I found out she's gonna read. Nah, I'll teach her. Yeah, screw it.
I don't give a fuck about my degrees. I don't really care about that.
But let's tackle this. What's the difference between a thick woman and a fat woman?
About 150 pounds.
150 pounds.
So in terms of physically being attracted to her, it's how she carries the weight.
No.
That's what it is for me.
No. The way I look at it, if your stomach sticks out more than your chest and your back, you're fat.
No, I'm not saying that. Well, okay.
If I add 150 pounds to you and your ass equal 300,
it's for me. I'm just saying physical attraction is the way that she carries it. Like, I don't know. That's just for me.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Because you got some women who are muscular and they thick and like they got big boobs, nice ass, and they still weigh like 175, 180 tall. You gotta look at all of that, you feel me? So the weight ain't such a thing. But if you are 5'2", nigga,
250, 5'2",
I'm in room 102.
Never seen
you 5'2" and you weigh as much as a defensive tackle. You got me fucked up.
You got the door?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, yeah, okay.
ladies on the panel. So how do you take that? How do you typically take this question? What's the difference between a fickle man and a fat one?
I appreciate you, man.
Lady?
That package just got delivered.
I'm looking at women's bodies.
What's that?
I knew she was gonna say
I
that.
don't know. I don't be looking at women's bodies to be saying what
At
is
all.
fat, what is fat. Like that is not my business.
At all.
So whenever you heard this question, you don't care for it much for it then? The way men
She don't know how to answer it.
Well, I that's fine if you don't know how to answer it, but the way men answer it, you don't care much for it. It's just how men see it, so you're okay with it.
The answer?
What?
What they said?
John said about 150 pounds. That's the difference between the two. I said your stomach gotta be flatter than your stomach can't be past your chest or your ass because that's what makes you fat. Tax said a little bit more.
That's cool.
So if you could reiterate.
I mean, my demands aren't that great, man. You know what I mean? We're going to release the hostages early. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair to you. Unique, Chris, you guys got nothing else to say to this?
For myself, I can tell when I've gained weight and not the best way if my waist is getting bigger. Like I try to keep my waist small. And that's a good way for me to gauge. Like that's where I'm happiest with my body, where I'm like, I have a nice silhouette, a nice feminine silhouette.
I don't care. Don't matter to me. I'm not looking for a woman.
Hold on. Who said something? I didn't hear it.
No, I'm just saying, and plus I have a different thing going on as far as like when it comes to people rating motherfuckers on what this look like and what the belly look like and what the thighs look like. I don't like. I ain't getting into all that. Y'all don't want me upset. I want to be chill.
I know my sister right here. Yannick was sitting over there with the boo boo face the whole time. As soon as it popped up, she's like, "What you mean, fat and thick?"
I mean, it's to the eyes of the beholder in most cases, right?
Yeah.
Man, that's I'm like, what is this? What type of question is this?
All right.
But can I add this in there real quick though, CKQ?
Go for it.
I'm gonna throw this in there real quick. And I know we're not there yet, but the minute that the engagement starts in terms of conversation, where they at, and they start speaking different things like that, it could add and take away. This is what I'm saying. Like in the instance, it'd be like she becomes desirable to me. She becomes, because I'm gonna tell you something.
Shit.
The physical in and of itself, that's cool, right? But I can get that. I can like that's easy, right? But that mindset, that cerebral stimulation, that becomes an attraction also for me. So the body type might not be right, but when she get the run in her mouth, I'm like, damn. And then she clean, I'm like, damn. And then it's other stuff, right? Like that can weigh in really quick. That, and I don't drink, so it's never the alcohol. I don't smoke, so it's never the weed. I don't take pills, it's never that. I'm just telling you, like, different stuff.
I wish I had that gift, Top. I wish I had that gift.
Different stuff.
Because with me, it's either, I don't know, I have to see it, and I'll let you know. If I see it and I don't see nothing to it.
I have to see it too, Dr. John. I got to see it.
And I don't give a damn what come out of her mouth. Everything can come out because all I'm hearing is that's all I heard. This is what it is.
She's just not making words. You're not even.
No, nigga.
Doesn't even make sense.
Yep.
Yes. Being a man comes with its challenges,
Clement, you don't like no thick ass women?
No, I don't.
He already said that.
I know.
Nigga, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm big. I ain't finna have no motherfucking we hold each other. How we gonna hold each other, nigga? We look weird, nigga. We look like two hot air balloons just drifting off into the fucking sunset, walking down, bouncing off each other every time y'all fucking walk. The fuck? You can't put your arm around her. You just put your arm like, you know what I'm saying? You don't pull her into you. You just tandem yourself to her. Like, no. Y'all ain't snuggling. The goddamn couch look like this. Like, no, the bed looks like this. Then how do you have sex, dude? How does it work?
A lot of friction.
Some people sit on pillows.
Some people.
What?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Anyway.
Man, I'm tall as hell and she's short as fuck and this wide. No. That don't even look right.
We're gonna move on to the next question.
Look weird. You want to get a piggyback or something?
I know this one. If whoever's married that's a male, none of us better let our wives hear us talking like that.
Unless you talk like that in front of her, then it's the same thing, right?
Huh?
Unless you talk like that in front of her, then she already knows. She knows what it is.
Or if you being real to yourself, you don't fuck with women that meet that description, and you still keep it like that. So your wife ain't paying you no fucking attention. That shit's going in one ear and not the other, because you like, yeah, this nigga don't like no big woman. Yeah, you don't like that. You don't like that at all. At all.
Does being irresponsible with your obligations in a relationship make it a toxic relationship?
Hell yeah. Let me tell you something with me. I can forgive infidelity. I can't forgive economics.
Okay, explain a little bit more. A little more clarity behind that, please.
All right. People make mistakes. I've made, right? And if you look around to the right or the left, I don't care who it is. I remember when Jay-Z was getting ready to marry Beyonce, and the younger cats, they were saying, man, if I had Beyonce, I said, if you had Beyonce, the average one of y'all flipping and twisting around 28 different ways, and then you'll wind up cheating on her. I would never cheat on her. A very small number you wouldn't cheat on her. But typically, somebody gonna step out, right? And so my thing is, that comes with it. You can forgive, you can work through that. You've done it yourself, you know how it is. Who am I to throw the first stone, the glass house, all of that stuff. For me, I'm not emotionally invested like that because it's just physical. And I don't care how many women I've been with in real relationships, they swear that their body is the temple, and that's fine because that's just where they at. I ain't never looked at their body as the temple. I don't even know, not to me. If they look at it that way, I don't try to change their mind because that's the position they take. But I, as a man, as me being the type of man I am, I don't never look at your body as number one. Nah, that's number two or number three. My love for you, what I'm gonna do for you, my commitment, that's number one. And that's why even when I stepped out on the relationship, I never looked at that as the end of it, right? But here's what I say, I can forgive that. Economics, though, is tougher because if you said you got a house
when you stepped out of the relationship, You said you can forgive when you stepped out of the relationship?
No, I stepped out of relationships before, right? I can forgive if somebody else does it.
Like your girl does it.
Yeah, in a relationship. I never been married. But what I'm saying is economics is different because economics is less subjective. I don't get to choose how I feel about the numbers that keep showing up. I don't get to say, you know what, it's okay with that electric bill running up, or the car note, or the mortgage, or the investment, or whatever that is. So economics, I think, is a little different. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised that many marriages, if not most of them, I'm just saying many, they break up because of finance. It's not necessarily infidelity. Or if it is infidelity, number one, finances is probably right behind it as number two.
Ooh. sounds very close to some shit I said earlier.
You
But I'm
cannot
just gonna
suppress.
smoke my cigarette.
Go ahead, Dr. John. I'm
No, you made some points that I've been trying. There's 3 other ones that go along with it. I always do this in front of Unique because it gets her besides herself.
What's number 3? I want to hear.
Shit, religion, the way you raise kids, and politics. Those are the 5 biggest arguments you ever gonna get in from. And you always get people who would say nah, so and so they got this and because they not. If you got 2 people, and I'm gonna touch on religion. A Muslim and a Christian is not gonna have a successful marriage if they devout. And I can just tell you that now, because the person that you sleep with does not believe Jesus Christ is the Savior. They do not believe that. And if you devout, that's gonna be a fucking problem. Now, if you're not devout, then hell yeah, it'll work. Because neither one of y'all practicing for real. You don't feed her pork or him pork, and he don't say shit when you go. Y'all go to different. When y'all do go, y'all never go together. And if you ain't devout, hell, sometimes you probably do go together. Because you're not devout. Like, you just not. It's not to you. I'm talking about somebody who it means something to. It ain't gonna work out. That religion is the big thing, because you're gonna have kids and y'all gonna be split on how them damn kids to be raised off the rip, which comes into the other point. How you raise kids. That's gonna be a problem. Comes to another point. Tithing. Now what? That's finances. Another point. And all that shit will come together and make a very big issue. Stop trying to walk around unequally yoked, because it's not gonna fucking work. It don't work. You may not see it this year, may not see it next year, maybe 5 years down the road. But when that divorce paper come, I promise you, it was a compilation of 1, 2, or more of those reasons. But one of them reasons was circling around in that motherfucker. And it should have been addressed when you was dating. And not been ignored, overlooked, or pushed aside or discounted.
Okay. Unique. Does being irresponsible with your obligations in a relationship make it a toxic relationship, in your opinion?
Which obligations you talking about?
Any obligations. Your job, picking up who you're supposed to be, going to the gym, doctor's visit, anything like that.
Not necessarily, because I found out, when you are in a relationship, you cannot dictate that person's progress or regress or whatever. Like, you can only dictate you. You can only change you. You can only be you. If you decided to be committed to somebody, just because they are not say they're not as self-aware as you are, they're not on that path, you can't force them to be on that path. You can't dictate where they are on that path. So some people may not care about going to doctor's visits. And per se, I've had times where I've had to make the appointment for my husband. He don't like going to the doctor. He don't care about it. He don't think about it. So a lot of times I had to make the appointment. But then there's times that I forget because I'm making an appointment for kids, me, and everybody else. So it's not going to make the relationship toxic just because of that. But it might make him short-lived if he don't take care of himself. Yes. It might cause some arguments sometimes, yes. Okay. But not necessarily my whole relationship is toxic. It's because he won't do certain things and I won't do certain things. Everybody's their own person. Yeah, there are bigger obligations that could cause it. But, certain things, I think that you can't dictate somebody else's path in certain things.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear Chris real quick.
I agree with the big things, but I don't think that you have to have all 5 of those things. This is what he's talking about that gets me or whatever. He believes that all 5 of those things will guarantee me a good relationship. That's not true.
I never said that. That's never what I said. You always, no, I don't. I'm gonna say it one more time, and everybody can explain it to you. I said you cannot have two or more of those things be incongruent in the relationship be good. That's what I said.
You said that.
No, I've always said that.
You ain't say that in the beginning.
I've always said that.
No,
These are the 5 things.
This is before you
I'm gonna say it one more
this
time.
show, okay? You've talked about it with me before.
You have always said it wrong, and I always corrected you.
You
All
said
right, well,
you
stop for a
have
minute.
to have all those 5 things, but then when
No, I did not. You have to address.
oh, maybe all 3 of them and not all
No,
5.
I've never said that, Yannick. I know how to talk. You have to address all 5 of these things. You have to address them. But you cannot be incongruent on 2 or more, and I'm never going to change that. You have to address all 5 when you're dating.
It wasn't like that before, but fine.
It's always been like that. I got it written down because I'm going to do a dissertation on it. That's how I know how I said it. You have to address all 5 things because there are 5 things that will make you argue, but you cannot be incongruent in more than 2 of those things. If you're incongruent in more than 2, your relationship ain't gonna work, and you'll never get me to believe it will.
You don't remember because you had this conversation before you worked it out, before you wrote it down, before you was gonna do a dissertation. You were stern on you have to be in agreement with these 5 things. You were stern.
That's what you heard.
But then when I kept challenging you on it, that's when you changed. So you can say that all you want because nobody else here knows the conversation that we had before then. So that's fine. You can go ahead and do that. That's good that you changed. I'm glad you changed because it is dumb to think that all 5 has to be there.
I mean, to be honest with you, if you got all 5, you have a better chance than somebody who don't have all 5. That's a fact. If you got all 5, you are in a better position than somebody who don't have all 5.
Danielle.
Hi.
Hey.
What's you eating?
Danielle, I was getting ready to text you and tell you what I was eating.
How did you knew I wanted to know what you was eating?
Yeah, I knew
me looking at you.
I was just getting ready to text you and tell you exactly what it was. It's General Soul Chicken.
Okay.
How's anticlimactic?
As far as raising children part, I'm sorry.
Yep.
As far as the raising children part, how I comment on that, I had a live talking about something else, and we ended up talking about how my son doesn't listen to me, and every time I'm yelling, instead of my husband asking me or asking him what happened or just backing me up, he will come downstairs and say to me in front of the children, "Why are you yelling?" To me, that doesn't present a united front. So yes, big things like that, like he said, raising kids can have you in those toxic states. Now, throughout our whole time of day and everything that we do is toxic, no. But those things can make your relationship toxic. Yeah. If it's consistent and nobody wants to change that. Yeah.
Crossing roads will too. Clement said,
can you repeat the 5, please?
Yeah. How you raise children, religion, politics, money, and sex.
Did you say sex?
Yeah.
And you said you can't be incongruent in 2 of these, right?
You can't be incongruent in 2 or more of them and have a successful relationship. When I say successful, I mean not that you're not arguing, but you ain't making it to divorce court. Like you're gonna go to divorce court.
Okay. Chris, does being irresponsible with your obligations, does that make it a toxic relationship? Being irresponsible with your obligations in a relationship make it a toxic relationship, yeah.
It can. It can. I think one of the most popular that we see in modern day is when men don't go to work. That's something that I think a lot of women see as being a man's obligation, right, in the relationship. And so if he's being inconsistent when it comes to earning for the family, you start to see some resentment there. I think that's a big one. And so I think it can. It doesn't make the entire relationship toxic. What happens is when you have expectations for someone and they're consistently not meeting them, you will probably start to resent them over time, and then you'll probably start to like project that possibly.
Chris, did you say when she starts being inconsistent with earning money?
He.
Oh.
Nah, she said he.
Just that example.
Oh.
But either any obligations.
Whoever, okay.
That was just an example particular to men. I think.
No, she meant he.
In that example, yeah, women typically get mad when men aren't consistently earning income. They build a resentment because they feel like that's his job. He's supposed to be doing that. And then, yeah. So if it leads to resentment, if they have expectations and they're consistently not being met, it will lead to resentment, and that will lead to some toxicity, probably some arguing, some degrading. That's when you start getting into that stuff.
But now the relationship as a whole, it wouldn't make it a toxic relationship.
It can lead to it. Yeah, it can lead.
Absolutely.
You start belittling your partner, degrading them, arguing with them. You don't respect them. When you start reaching that point, I would consider that toxic. When you're just constantly butting heads.
And then people will start denying their other person's sex, right, Chris? As a result of that, right?
Sometimes it's weaponized. Yeah, I think so. It can be weaponized.
And it has nothing to do with the sex.
Well, it's not necessarily weaponized either. It's not necessarily weaponized. It's that when you stop trusting somebody, because one thing about women is that we require more requirements to have sex. And one of those requirements is safety and security, because you need that boost in estrogen, and then before you can start boosting that testosterone to get that sexual drive. And so if you're not making her feel safe and secure, it's really hard for her to have any sexual attraction for you. That's why typically women are in their masculine a lot. When they're feeling a lot of testosterone, they start seeing their partner less intimately, less romantically, because they literally have no sexual attraction for them because they don't feel secure and safe around that man.
That's a good point. Now, if you're talking the honeymoon phase of a relationship early on, would it still make it a toxic relationship, or what should you be expecting out of the relationship if someone becomes irresponsible with their obligations during this time period? What are your thoughts? Anyone? To the panel.
Yeah.
Don't all speak too quickly.
Can you ask the question again?
Okay, so this same question in the honeymoon phase. So now in the honeymoon phase, does being irresponsible with your obligation during the honeymoon phase lead to a toxic relationship later on? Did I lose all of you?
I think
no,
it's the same.
I want to give everybody else a chance to talk.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, you.
I mean, if you're in the honeymoon phase of the relationship, the honeymoon phase can be altered, nigga. Like, the honeymoon phase don't stay a honeymoon if something happens.
Mm-hmm.
That shit will snap out of that. And because I don't have no real roots in this bitch, I'll probably break up. I'll be done. Because when you show me, I'm going to believe you and I'm out. I'm through with it.
What do you mean?
What you mean? Like, bro, like I'm big about roles. If you start trying to cross my roles, you start trying to bleed over into my shit, or just say let's say you're not talking about roles and you're talking about just regular obligations. I'm watching for that. Like I'm watching you how you handle your business. I'm watching if you loose with money, if you pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? Like I broke up with a motherfucker because she had a payday loan. What? She has a fucking car note pay late. Yeah.
Okay. What's that? What is that though?
Right. That's my point exactly.
I've never heard of that.
That's my whole fucking point right there. Man, if you say, why do I look like marriage being with somebody if I date to marry, right? What I'm gonna look like being with you and you pay 475% interest on any motherfucking thing? What? Nigga, stop it.
What?
No, I'm not doing no. You have and there's more to it. You have a whole house that you don't fucking pay rent for because your mom own it and you broke every fucking nigga. No, I'm not fucking having no excuse for that. I'm not making no excuse for that. I'm not fucking with that. Because when you in a relationship, when you get married, nigga, you ain't your own person no fucking more. Y'all become one person. Why? Because y'all are dependent of each other. Well, anything this nigga do, I get in trouble for it. Anything I do, she get in trouble for it. It's gonna affect her life because we're together. You understand? If I don't go to the doctor and I fucking die early, how did we leave the finances? I fucked her life up. Vice versa. You understand? So if she is bad with money, she gonna fuck them. How can you give her access to the fucking checking account? You think this person gonna fucking know when she see $200,000 in there, she gonna know how to handle that? Are you fucking serious right now? This same person who cannot manage making $20 an hour without a house payment, and you broke, nigga, to the point you go get a loan against a car, nigga? A 475% interest loan?
Everybody got time for that.
That you never paying part of the principal until you pay the whole thing off? No, that's just it. I'm not doing that shit. Come on, dude.
That's terrifying.
I'm not doing that. Well, I mean, I'm watching all that shit. Cause you should be able to. You should not gouge your money with your fucking wife. She should have a debit card just like you got a debit card, and y'all have an understanding. You can never have, nigga. I would be on my computer every fucking 5 minutes checking that balance. I'd be like, click, click, click. I'd have alerts come straight to my phone. $275. I'll be on. Hey, what you buy for $275 and why did you buy it? No, I don't want to live like that.
I've given women, what I do is I don't share the bank account, but I get another card and I'll put a limit on it from the bank. So like with Chase, right? I'll get a card and a name, and then I'll let her know, hey, it's $2,500 on this card. Oh, what you giving me? What you giving this to me for? Because I'm tired of you $17 and $32 in me.
Good deal.
Yeah, so go ahead with that. And then I just pay attention. And if she burned through that joint, like in 30 days, then I turn 30 days back, and all them. And I just lower the rate. I be like, nah, she can't handle it, man. She can't handle it.
And you gotta be able to handle it.
Unique, you had a story?
Yeah, so I have an aunt who married somebody. They still married, and he kind of sold his house in one area, which gave him like $1 million, gave him like a lot of money. So instead of buying a smaller house and then you'll have money to pay those taxes off, he went and bought and moved somewhere, and bought a huge house.
You went stupid.
They both end up losing their jobs, and because she just totally trusted him with the money, she not really working that well, much or whatever. And then all of a sudden he lost his job too. Eventually, I don't know, they stayed in that house for a long time without even paying the taxes. They stayed in that house for another 5 or 6 years. But then they had to end up moving into my aunt's house because she had bought 3 houses when she retired. And they end up moving there. Then he ended up having to move somewhere else for a job. And then my aunt and his daughter had to stay in one spot, stay there until he established another place at another church because he's a pastor. So it was just like she entrusted him because that's her husband. He's the pastor. He's supposed to be the head. But yet, it just plummeted. Now, John said he would be out automatically, but that's the ups and downs of marriage. You know what I'm saying? Stuff is going to happen. It's not going to be perfect just because you have 3, 4, 2, one of those things in common. Things are going to happen. And obviously he was good enough with the money before he decided to be the dummy and say, okay, I'm going to spend the whole house.
Y'all really do not understand this concept.
John, you have to take back 2 or 5.
Nigga, they gonna have to I'm gonna have to write this shit out and let her read it and really manifest it because that's not an example of what I was talking about. Because an example of what I'm talking about, they wouldn't have never got married.
What I'm trying to say is
They would have never fucking got married.
She didn't know he was bad with money. He owned a house in Queens.
She would have known.
He owned a house in Queens that gave him like $1 million when he sold it. Right?
What did he dress like?
He was in that house for years. He raised his other kids before they got married in that house.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he had a job at a bank for years. So stuff happened. He got laid off. So that's why he couldn't pay it, right? He wanted a
he's financially illiterate.
Children there. He wanted some of all his he had his older children living there. He had his wife children living there. He wanted a bigger house to have them, right? That was the dumbest move he could have made, was going from spending your whole $1 million on a house, knowing that, okay, you have a job to pay the taxes, but what happens when you don't have no job? You know, what happens when you don't have no savings? What happens to that? So, but he didn't do that where they was at. They was already married when they wasn't like not married and then moved to this big house. No, they had been married. He had been stable.
I get what you're saying, but stable does not equal financial literacy. Because anybody who's financially literate knows you use other people's money, you never use your own. Somebody who's financially literate would put $50,000, $60,000, $75,000 down on the house and made the payments from their job. And then when shit got rough,
financially literate. So how she wouldn't know
financially literate because you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is this. He was definitely not financially literate. I mean, literally, he did not have financial literacy. And this shit is shit you have to study before you get married. Before. Watch what he wears. How does he dress? How does he spend his money? You understand? A nigga with a $2,000 suit and $500 shoes, nigga, where do you work at? And why do you dress like that even though you work there? That's a good indicator of how this person spend money.
You acting like she didn't know him. She knew him. She knew all these things. And he still made a bad decision. What I'm trying to say is that
I don't get it.
You just basing your stuff on these things and not the aspect
but
of
these things are real. You will never get those outcomes if you base your shit off of that. You're not going to get those same outcomes.
Let Chris get a word.
I'm talking about.
Nick, can I ask you a quick clarifying question? Did she know that it was going to be a bad move when they bought the house with $1 million?
I don't even think she asked. I don't even think she inquired.
I think he did it behind her back
because the way that she married a pastor. She's the only passive one out of my aunts. Like, she's the youngest. All the rest of my aunts is like I told you, they more stronger and more in charge of the relationship. But she's more of the passive. So when she marries somebody who's a preacher who has this gift of gab, who got this, he runs most of the whatever goes on. He makes all the decisions. He decided that I'm going to take a job 1,000,000 miles away and y'all stay here and then y'all come join me later. He decided all of the things, not her.
Yeah, that makes sense. The reason why I asked though is that the difference there in between what John is saying is that making one financial mistake in a marriage is different than having different financial strategies, right? So if she also wasn't very financially literate, they're probably on the same page. Like, she probably could have made the same mistake that he made, right? It probably wasn't a red flag for her. Where it comes to not being different financially is if if I like material bags and I like to shop at luxury brands and I spend a lot of money on clothes and I want the best car, but my potential husband is a minimalist and he has 3 shirts, 4 pants, and 2 pairs of shoes, right? And he doesn't like that, and he wants to save his money. He wants to be debt free. He doesn't like that type of stuff. We're going to clash, most likely.
Big time.
I want to make money. I want to look good. I want to look a certain way. We may end up clashing. So there's a difference between making one financial mistake because you lack some financial literacy and having completely different ideas of what you're supposed to be doing with your money, right? If I want to be debt free, but I'm about to marry somebody who's careless with their money and they constantly leasing cars, can't keep a house, like I have a poor financial history, bad credit score, things like that, we're probably going to clash later on because little things like that you may not be able to change. So those are things you need to be in alignment in. You're going to marry somebody who also wants to be debt free, also watches Dave Ramsey, right? You're not going to date people that like to spend money and feel like if they have it, they spend it, right?
Right.
It's like it's more of a foundational thing, not like a one-off mistake. Does that make sense?
Because them the red flags that you be looking for. That's what I'm saying.
Is that a lot of people just pick these things and don't really know that the relationship is work and stuff is going to happen. And just because they had this money issue and the money stuff happened and they had to live with other people and all this stuff doesn't mean it will break a relationship because of this stuff happening. That was my point.
Yeah.
Nah, this will all break a relationship, and there ain't no doubt about that.
It ain't break the relationship.
Because she didn't know no better. Okay, let that nigga be married to my mama and he do some shit like that, she out. I'm telling you right now, because she's financially literate.
What I'm trying to
She
say
can't believe I married this idiot.
you're not hearing what I'm trying to say.
I'm hearing you, you're just not hearing what I'm telling you.
Your mother just automatically will leave because of that. But you don't know you don't know what this person, the mistake they made and what they went through and whatever they went through to get back to where they are now. Like what I'm saying is people just quick to just be like, no, fuck this, I'm leaving, instead of actually putting in the work in the ups and downs. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'm saying I'm out from a dating standpoint. You might miss on somebody.
You might miss on somebody good. Because you like,
no, I won't. No, I will not.
Really good.
You listen, everybody out there
on the inside.
Everybody out there.
Fucking money.
No.
Let Unique get out her point real quick. Let Unique get out her point.
There's no point. I hear.
Unique, go ahead, finish.
I'm just saying that we are so quick to just be stern on these things and not really think about the person, the actual person, the spiritualness in relationships. The reason why you're with somebody is to learn about yourselves. You know what I'm saying? The reason why you are in a relationship is to learn about yourself. And it may not be that you stick with that one person, but what I'm trying to say is once you get married, it is work. It is where that person may not match with you on a lot of things that you want, you know, but I feel like relationship should be the classroom that you study yourself in. Like, because it's not going to always be pretty. It's not going to always be what you want. It's not going to always be like that. And you can't always, like, everything's not going to be always harmonious just because of those 5 things.
All right.
It's not going to be harmonious because it depends on what's on the inside of this person. What this
Nah.
person be teaching you.
All right, John.
I do not have to give up. I'm not going to marry somebody. I believe in spanking ass. She believes in timeout. I'm this religion. She's that religion. I'm a fucking conservative, and she damn near donates to the fucking LGBTQ. We are not going to get along. It's just not going to fucking happen because I'm going to say shit that offends her on a constant basis. She's going to do shit with my child that I'm not going to agree with. I'm not going to think it's effective. I'm going to step in and these are core values. And you will never, those 5 things also happen to be core values. And for you to say you should discount your core beliefs to be with someone else, then if you think that way, if I was to think that way, I would have to have something wrong with my self-esteem. And it's esteem of yourself, and that cannot be learned or given by nobody else but your ass. You have to find my identity. I have to know that coming into the relationship, because that's how you build. That's how you set boundaries. That's how you know what you will and won't do. That's how you know what you will and won't take. And there's no way I'm fixing to get with somebody and excuse the fact that she likes to pay $600 fucking for a damn bag and damn go get a payday loan when she don't have no fucking rent She don't pay no rent, make $20 an hour in Alabama, nigga. You know how much disposable income this fool would have? She don't pay no rent. Where's her money going, boo? That's a problem. Because if you're her husband, you got to make up the difference. So you're gonna be making up a lot of difference. Meaning you can't have shit with this woman. You can't have nothing with her. Nothing. Nothing. That's why I went out of it. I was like, oh hell no. I can't do it. And it wasn't so much she was a bad person. Sweet as hell. We cool, we friends. But she know the reason. She know the reason.
She couldn't learn.
He was sure. Say what?
She couldn't learn. She wasn't teachable.
Well, I tested that to see if she was teachable, and I tried to tell her, I'm like, why did you do that? What's wrong with that? I'm like, that's not really smart thing to do. And she was like, well, whatever. You think you know everything? Yeah. When you tell me that, I bet. And by the way, just for the record, she lost that car after paying over $9,000 into that motherfucker for a $2,000 loan. That's dumb as fuck. That's super dumb. That's dumb. Like that's so dumb.
People be lost. I think sometimes people be lost financially, and they just be underwater. They can't breathe. It's like with any situation. Like you can drown in any situation, you know. And if you don't have like a support system or your faith or whatever that is, and you think it's just over, you done. And sometimes the lifeguard just shout from the beach and say, stand up, because the water only 3 feet deep. But you don't be knowing that because you be in it. Like I think a lot of times when you hear these domestic situations where people hurt each other, like kill, delete each other and stuff like that. A lot of times, if they could get through it one more night or 2 more nights, it would be just a different ray of light shined on them, right? And financially, a lot of people, they go out and spend their money when they get paid because they feel like they don't have anything. So every time they get paid, because of their bills and situations, they think it's like Cinderella at 12 midnight. This real money going to turn into Monopoly money, like whatever. So it's so many different dynamics involved with that. But I know for me, I always try to identify if a woman is good with money. If a woman, like I want to give somebody a couple dollars to make sure everything's done right. That's what I want to do. And when that happens, it'll be great. But that's a attribute that I look for in a woman. If she's good,
Sorry, go ahead. Finish.
No, if she's good with money, like I know how to make it, and so that's a win for me.
That's a compliment. That is a compliment.
John and Tack, I want to drop this question to the both of you. Do you think the fact that us being men, us coming into a relationship and expecting and being expected to be able to provide financially, is that why you think we put more strain on the fact that the woman needs to be financially literate, or we look for that more?
Yeah, I do. I know that's my reason. I can't speak for Top, but I know
absolutely.
I'm gonna hold it down. You understand what I'm telling you? Like I'm gonna hold it the fuck down, and I want her to be financially literate because she's gonna trust me enough to know I'm fixing to get that check, and I want to be able to fucking surprise her ass with the $600 bag that I know that she really want, but she denies herself of it because there's other things that I have outlined to her in our plan that I really want to accomplish, and she's making sure that we're gonna accomplish that. So when she gets what she want, she's gonna get what she want. You understand what I'm saying? But for someone who to just go out here and just be bam, just burn through $20,000-$30,000 like it ain't shit, that's a problem, bro. That's a whole problem. Because there's nothing in the fucking world you can't wait, nigga. You can't wait. I got shit. What if me and you both did it? You ain't no fucking better than me, right? All right, then. So what if I fulfill all my damn desires and went out here and bought 12 different types of fucking sniper rifles and handguns and shit? I love guns. You understand? Them hoes that cost anywhere from $200 to $20,000. And I got it and I can fucking go get them. But I fucking don't do it. Because I have learned over the years when I fucking lost everything and was homeless, nigga, I would never be like that again. Because I was financially fucking literate. And I brought somebody's daughter into that situation with me. I will never let that shit happen again. Ever, never on my watch. Then I got in the streets doing shit that could have risked my fucking freedom to get us out that shit. We was fucked up for 2 weeks. And then I started selling dope and we got unfucked up. Then I quit selling dope and then I stayed straight. You understand? You have to learn how to be financially literate, but you got to want that knowledge. And when she said to me that I thought I knew everything, I'm like, no. You the one who throw the buoy out there. How you know I can't swim? Okay, bet, bitch, a shark behind you. Hope you swim fast. I was going to pull your ass to safety.
Yannick, I want to pose a question to you. Because I do understand what you're saying. The fact that we, in this society now, we focus so much on how much money and income and how much we place a lot of value on that. But my question to you is, and this is an honest question, it's not really attacking, so answer it. Do you think a relationship a strong foundation can be built through a relationship when they're worried about finances?
Hell no.
Finances is something that couples do argue about. Yes, I agree on that. I think that if you have somebody,
I get what you're saying. The fact that this is a transactional society, it very much is. And we place a lot of value on a dollar, but at the end of the day, the dollar is still what makes everything run.
Not just the dollar, how somebody makes me feel, what somebody else does for me. So it's kind of like it's a whole. That's more than just transactional with money. It's a lot of transactional with that as well. And sometimes, because I'm the same way, because sometimes my feelings will get hurt if somebody don't treat me in a certain way. So, but a lot of times I will have to sit back and think about, well, why did I react that way? Instead of that person being the blame, I got to figure out why I reacted that way. But I just learned that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like that. I was just like this trend, it's not like I'm not in it anymore either. I have things that's going on. I just feel like, yes, you're gonna have trouble in a relationship, just like John stated. It happened to me before. It can happen. So should she have just throw you away because it happened? That's what I'm trying to get to the point. Like, she would have missed out on a whole good person if she just threw you away because you wasn't good with money in the beginning.
But she didn't realize it because she wasn't good with money neither. That's why she let me behave the way I was behaving, because she was financially literate too. When you got two people, we was together. We weren't incongruent with finances. Nigga, we was right with each other on finances. But who good with money, let's say if it was somebody like Chris, right? I wouldn't have never ended up like that. Because Chris would have been like, listen, damn it, either you're gonna stop doing this or we're gonna have to do something different, because you ain't gonna have me out here in these streets.
No, I would have dated you. I would have missed out on that good person. And this is the issue, is that it's okay to have standards and let people deselect themselves from your pool if those standards are reasonable. And I think if you have a certain goal in terms of you want to build generational wealth for your children, you want to own properties, you have these certain goals, and this person could hinder you from reaching those goals, it's okay to say, we're not right for each other, because I don't want to go into this hoping that you're going to change someday. If you like to spend your money, go spend your money, but you're not going to spend your money. You're not going to spend our money when it becomes our money. It's okay to let people go and say, you're not right for me. I have this standard, you don't need it. So go find somebody who you will work with right? And I think this is what we see so much in our community because it's okay to struggle with somebody if you guys are both in that
struggle love.
Like it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have those expectations.
You don't grow as a person when you're with somebody and something that you don't like happens, and then you learn something about yourself. So you don't grow from that. You do grow from that. And what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't end a relationship just because somebody is good with money and somebody isn't. My stepfather is terrible with money, and they've been together for 26 years. Everything that he has his own account. She has her own account. They don't have to have it together just because they married together. You don't have to. My mother always tell every woman, make sure you have your own money. So it's not that you can't have a life and form a life together because somebody else is not good with money and somebody else is.
But it depends on what you're prioritizing and what your standards are. It can work. Plenty of couples have a 50-50 relationship. My money is my money. Your money is your money. For me, that's not an option.
It's not an option either. It's our money.
Spend it, and we're going to reach these goals. And if you're not in alignment with me on those goals, we're not meant for each other, and that is okay.
That's what I'm trying to say is that you lose out on.
Different, but it's still
you lose out on something different. Or you lose out on somebody that probably was better for you in a sense in other ways just because of something that they're not good at. Like you can't dictate what somebody else is good at. And if you choose to leave, it's ego. A lot of times when you choose to not face it and leave, it's that person's ego. Like when Iyanla Van Zandt said, I had to leave a 14-year relationship. Why? Because he didn't love me the way I wanted him to love me, right? He didn't love me. I kept hoping he was going to love me in a certain way, but he never did, so I left. Now, on one hand, it sounds like, go ahead, girl, you don't deserve that. But it's not like he was loving her in the sense of he was abusing her. He was loving her at his capacity that he could love. So now you're disrespecting how he loves. So now you're ungrateful for the person that tried to love you in a way that they only knew that they know how to love. So yes, you feel like I'm gone and I'm going to find better, but now you're like 70. So it's really hard in this chances for you to find somebody better. And then you basically disrespected the 14 years that y'all was together that he was trying to love you. And that's her ego. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm cool with all that.
It sounds like you're also saying like appreciate the things that they actually do right instead of focusing on the negative.
But I don't date smokers. I don't date smokers. You understand what I'm saying? Like I've dated women before that smoked, and I used to say to myself, I gotta hurry up and try to get physical because I can't take one more night of this smoke, you know? So that's my standard. That's what I'm saying to you. Yes. I don't date crackheads. You know, when I trick off, I don't go find a crackhead or a drunk. When I was doing that, I don't do it no more, but I'm just saying when it happens. Oh shit! So it depends on, like Chris was saying, it's your standard. With me, I can forgive you for infidelity because I don't rank that as number one. But with a woman, if I cheat on her, she might be the type of woman that's the deal breaker because that's where she at with it. Everybody has their primary, secondary, third, however the numbers go. So it's where you at with it. That's how I look at that. We're not all gonna be at the same place, at the same height about everything. I promise you, I get it. Women, I've been hearing it from women for years. My body is my temple, is and they absolutely right. Why? Because they think they right. I don't take nothing from it. But I just never looked at it that way. I just didn't. So that's not big to me. But I've lost relationships from stepping out because that's what it meant to that person. And I get that. So what's my thing? What's important to me? Cerebral stimulation. Not so much she got to be making money. I know how to make money. Now, if you can handle the money, if you know how to do that, oh my God, it's butter. But her making money, her being the earner, or we going 50-50, we're not doing 50-50. We're gonna be good. Because I know how to do that. But I'm saying those things that are a priority, that's a game breaker, a game changer, whatever you want to call it, is different for different people. That's all I'm saying, Deacon Knight. It's different for different people.
Yeah, and I think also your point, Nick, is true. But it's in the marriage. Like, should you just end a marriage because something happens, something goes awry? No, but like
I'm talking about before the marriage.
John is more so saying is these are some red flags that you look for before you even enter into that commitment, because this could be a problem later on. And there are plenty of statistics to show that these are problems later on. Those are, I think, 3 of the things that he listed are like the top 3 reasons why people end up getting divorced. I think he missed adultery, right?
No, sex.
Very, very important. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's very, very important that people have standards and they meet people that meet those standards. Now, your standards shouldn't be unreasonable because, yeah, you could be blocking a lot of men. But it's not unreasonable to say, I want somebody who is good with money, right? Because I have certain goals and they could keep me from my goals. Because later on, if you don't reach those goals when you expect to, you're going to start to resent that person, right? So it's better not to go your separate ways. There's someone out there for you if your standards are reasonable. If they're reasonable. It's more so when people have these extreme standards that we see them kind of dying alone, right? But stuff like that is okay.
Yeah, mean somebody that's good with money is not that fucking hard. It's a lot of women out there that's good with money. I mean, a lot. As a matter of fact, a lot of the households, the woman runs the money. A lot. I know here in the South, that's the dynamic. The men just bring the money home.
Yeah, but like what Talk said, like this is super subjective. Like what one person prioritizes may not be what another person prioritizes.
And it's not just about money with me; it's other shit.
Yeah, I have certain standards that people think are ridiculous. But it works for me and it makes sense, right?
That's what I'm saying. 3 weeks ago, Danielle said she don't deal with short guys. So if she wasn't married, I wouldn't stand a chance. I'm too short. She got a standard. Now, is she missing out on a good guy? Is she missing out on a great guy? But she has a standard, a height standard. Other people got a weight standard. Some people got a race standard.
Like think of it like this. When you come into a relationship, that should be a happy thing to where you get to keep living. You gonna learn stuff. I'm not gonna take that away from you. She's right. You will learn things. But that's not your purpose. Your purpose ain't to fucking come in and learn more about yourself, nigga. What? You already gonna know about yourself before, or you ain't got no business dating. And you gonna see yourself a certain way, or you ain't got no business dating. Like you're not healthy for nobody. Because if you got shit that you dealing with on your own, that you don't see yourself a certain way, and you need validation from another motherfucker, you're not ready to date yet. You need to be single 2 more years and get your own. Yes, I'm right about this, man. You can't fucking be in no. You can't go somewhere looking. But that's what it sounds like you're talking about, validation. I get it though, but you're gonna learn something. But okay, this is the point I'm making. I'm not finna be with no fucking body and make myself miserable. What the fuck? Do that make sense? Where do that go? How is a relationship healthy when you're miserable? For instance, Danielle don't like short men. Cause fucking Danielle almost 6 feet tall. And Danielle like wearing heels. So she need a nigga that's 6'3", 6'4".
And I love all the women.
See what I'm saying? So Talk might be this wonderful dude, but if Danielle feels some kind of way because she like a nigga to be over her when she's wearing her heels, I'm sorry. I have a right as a human to be fucking happy wearing my shit. I should not have to wear flats because I said, well, he might be a nice guy. Might be. Not is, might be, maybe, possibly. We don't know. Right? Or I believe that this damn badass boy need an ass whooping.
That you're standing to somebody that's short, but you feel bad. Like you don't want to be with somebody that's short because that makes you look like you tired. No, that's the way he put it. I'm not saying that's you, Danielle, but that's the way he put it. I'm towering over this nigga. I don't want to be towering on this nigga. I want to wear heels. What that should tell you something about yourself. Are you
Yeah, she likes wearing heels and she ain't got to change that.
Are you comfortable with your own height that it don't even matter if the guy is like this big or that big that comes
But
with
it's
you in
my
the
height,
room?
and I'm not gonna adjust me for nobody else.
I'm absolutely comfortable with my height, and I want to be comfortable with my man's height. And I want my man to be looking down on me. I don't want to be looking down on my man. If you're smaller than me, then I might be trying to punk you, and that's not good. So that's what that said about me.
I think what's
what you said, but
go ahead and say it again.
You said that said something about me. I said what it said about me is I'm very comfortable with my height. I want to be comfortable with my man's height. I want him to tower over me because I don't want to tower over him because I'm kind of a bully. And if I tower over him, then I'll be trying to punk him. That's not what's up.
Hey.
I'm not saying that's what you said. I'm talking about.
Ain't nobody got time for that. No, I'm telling you that this is what I said.
So
I didn't tell yourself.
That's what I said. What does it tell you about yourself? That you a bully? I'm fine. It tells you that you're a bully. That's what it tells you.
I think.
Me not liking him didn't tell me that I was a bully. I said that I was a bully.
Tells you you're a bully.
I didn't need a short person to know that I was a bully.
I didn't say you needed a short person to tell you.
Yeah, so me not liking that height didn't tell me that.
But see, a lot of that, what
it tells you that, but you just said in your own words that that's what it tells. You just say your own words that that's what it tells you.
No, I said that's why I don't like short men. I didn't say that told me something about myself.
But you just explained it. That's why. That's what it tells you.
I didn't learn
but
that.
But then
from
you went
that,
back
though.
and say it doesn't tell you that. Like that
you learned that
sense.
from
Both
that.
of y'all,
I didn't learn that from
it's
that.
like back and forth with one thing and then saying another. It's like ridiculous. But whatever. What I'm trying to say is that relationship does tell you about yourself. Even if it's not a romantic relationship, being in a relationship with your children tells you about yourself. Being in a relationship with your friend tells you about yourself.
True.
There's no way that you were in a relationship and you ain't gonna learn about yourself.
I agree with you
unless you are just so unaware of what's going on with yourself.
But I'm not going to use that as a fucking. But I'm not going to use that as a benchmark to who I'm going to date.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to stay in a relationship to learn about me though. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to stay in that relationship because I need to learn about me. I'm going to finish learning about me in that next one. If I have to
never finish learning about yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
You're going to keep learning about yourself to the day you die.
I'm going to learn with somebody who can be comfortable in the classroom with. Ooh, yes. I'm going to learn about myself with somebody that I'm comfortable in the classroom with. Because if I'm under stress, I ain't learning shit. Because I'm too focused on every fucking thing I don't like about you. I'm not learning a goddamn thing. I got blinders on. Just like this. This bitch bad with money. She don't want them badass kids whoop. This motherfucker, I want to out this shit. And I'm not learning a damn thing. I have shut down. I'm too focused on all this negative that I'm not seeing shit that's good about this person. That's why this shit is important.
I got a question for you. Unique. So, if you're now in a relationship with that same guy, bad financial situation, but again, amazing person, like you're saying, what's the end goal with that? If he's just doesn't really understand money,
y'all keep having to move a lot,
and you guys aren't in a good financial situation, but again, he's a great person. So I'm trying to understand, like, where
is the logic?
Not even the logic. I just what does the future look like with that?
If I was my aunt, I would have hired somebody like a financial counselor to help us, not just totally deserting my husband just because he made a bad financial decision. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to work at it. You have to actually want to be in it to fix it. My stepfather, on the other hand, just relinquished a lot of the things when it comes to money to my mother because he's not good at it. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you don't just get rid of a person because they're not good at money. All right, well then you take on that because that's what they're good at.
What about your boyfriend?
Wait. I do understand what you're saying, but I guess a lot of what the panel is saying is sometimes you don't want to take on because it's not that you can't dig yourself out of that with that person. It's just how far in that hole do I want to go into with that person to finally dig them out, as opposed to just say, listen, you dug yourself a pretty deep hole. I'm not trying to get in there.
I'm not saying that. Ain't what I'm saying.
But which again goes against what you're saying. It's a transactional society. But at the end of the day, it's,
I'm saying, why are you dating this type of fucking person? Everybody keeps giving me these fucking married people. Don't marry that motherfucker. You understand what I'm telling you? You understand? Like, I didn't have to worry about it.
Unique, in the example you're giving, let's say before they ever got married, he was making bad financial decisions. Would she have married him knowing that she wanted a man that's going to be the head of the household and controlling all the finances? She probably would have thought about that twice, because she's like, she didn't want that. Is that the best situation for me to be in? Probably not. Can she trust that he's going to change later on? Is that something that you want to try and figure out? Or would you just kind of say, I'll risk just not being with anybody if it means that I'm not failing with someone? So this is before you even get married.
A lot of times people that make themselves vulnerable, right? It sounds like when somebody doesn't know what's going on with finances and they're letting me be in charge or you be in charge or whoever, and their head is down and their ears are clogged about it, then devastation can hit that person in a different way. When I totally submit or you totally submit to me, then when that, what we call a bad decision at that level happens, that's more than just a bad decision to me. That could be trust. That could be my faith. That could be all of that. And that's why I was telling somebody, we was talking about marriage maybe last week or something down here. And I was saying, don't deitize your spouse. Don't lose yourself inside your husband or your wife, because that's a dangerous place to be. And something goes wrong, people react differently to that. So that's that thing about vulnerability, right? We all have to make ourselves vulnerable to our partner, whatever, especially in the marriage, depending on what's going on, what we agree to, however that goes. But some people, they entrust so much, and then something happens, they respond extreme to that, because it's more than just those numbers. It's more than just the house. I'm not saying in her case, in the very next couple's case. It's trust, it's my belief. Whatever you said went. I didn't question anything. And this where we end up at, because here's what the person knows. It wasn't that one sale of the house that put us where we're at. It was everything that led up to the sale and the purchase of the next house or whatever. The thing in and of itself looks like the thing itself, but it's all of the other decisions that was made that in blindness and faith, with my head down, genuflected, not having a voice, not having no say. That's how we got there. And so that might devastate a person. They say, I'm out. That's all. Not your aunt. I don't know your aunt. I'm just saying different people.
Go ahead, John.
So anytime this is a good discussion, but it still has to have more context than what we have, right? So I need to provide a little more context around this, right? Even just using this example, because I don't want to get into all the other ones, even though I might give some examples of the other ones. So some of this shit needs to be defined. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it needs to be like, what is incongruent? So for people who out there watching, you don't know what incongruent means. It means it's not on one accord. It's not together. It's not the same. It's not even similar. It is incongruent. So, with that being said, if a person is willing to admit that they bad with money and be patient and appreciate a person that is good with money, the fact that this person is bad with money and the fact that this person is good with money, that's not incongruent. That is a compliment. That's not incongruency. It's just a compliment. Why? What makes it not be incongruent? You just said it's the exact opposite. That's when you are this way to the point to where you are not willing to admit that you're bad with money. People who are bad with money don't like to admit that they're bad with money. And they have this belief that if they was to hit the lottery or get a whole bundle of money at one time, they could fix all their problems. And not, no, nigga, you just spend more fucking money. That's all that is, right? A person who is incongruent with you about sex. She wants to fuck once a month. You want to fuck 3 times a week. That's bad. Y'all gonna argue. That's incongruent. But if she's willing to compromise and say, okay, you want to do it 3 times a week, I want to do it once a month. I tell you what, I'll do it with you 2 times a week for 3 weeks. That's the best I got. That's all I can do for you. That's not incongruent. That's not what I'm talking about. You understand?
It will be.
It will be eventually, but I'm just trying to put a little context on this, so this is not like so cut and dry. Because for in the instance where, because if you get a woman who is a controlling and domineering woman, she wants to be in charge of the finances. Well, guess what? She will love a man who is bad with money, because she has a way in to tell him to release the fucking money. She has a strong platform. And if he's any type of man who wants his marriage to work and he know he bad with money, he'll do it.
He'll do it, yeah.
But a nigga who good with money, they ain't gonna fucking happen, and don't bring it up again. Matter of fact, here, let me give you this route number and this checking account so you can have your direct deposit come in this motherfucker right here. And I'm gonna run the money. Period. That's how that's gonna go. She don't want shit to do with that. Oh hell no, nah. He trying to control me and own me like I'm Toby or some shit. He thought he could buy me or something. Nah. So it's not. She just don't want to own. She just wants to be in control. Period. So she's not gonna like the dude who is bad with money. I mean, is good with money. She's gonna like a dude who's bad with money. It will work as long as he admits it. But what you don't want, what is a good example, is a motherfucker who is always like, damn man, can we shop now? Like, damn, I understand you got the finance and everything, but I just seen these new J's come out, man. And then it's the Figueroa, and we got the money. Come on. This nigga is not realized how bad he is with money. And that's a fucking argument. That's where the incongruency come in at. Even if he released the bank account and do all that, your mom never went through that. Because Sugar don't act like that. Sugar recognized something he was bad with. Your mom good with it. He'll take it. I don't give a damn. I'm cool with me. Because Sugar has a very strong self-esteem. He knows who the fuck he is. And little shit like that do not bother him at all. He don't care. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Because he knows who he is.
I want to pose this question, last question to the panel. So panel, if money plays such a big part in a lasting relationship, why is it not all right to discuss finances, earnings, etc. during the early part of meeting and dating phase?
It is.
It is
totally. It is. Yeah. It is all right, and I highly, strongly suggest it.
It's not. You're probably with the wrong person, really.
And not just focus on that. Focus on all them things we've been talking about in the early part of the relationship, before you end up in a toxic relationship or a fucking lifelong girlfriend.
Yeah, this is something that really confuses me. Like, you can let someone penetrate your body the first day you meet them, the first time you meet them, but you can't ask them how much money they make or what they do, or if they're stable in life, but they can enter you. That is the weirdest thing to me. You ask them how much money they make. You ask them how stable. Like, there's ways to ask. Is it, super awkward and intrusive? You should be finding out if this person has been surviving well. If they want to have children, if they want to be married someday, that's what dating is for, right? We're really comfortable with certain things and not others. I'm talking for people who want to be married. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, but when we talk about penetrating the body, some people just, a lot of people let people penetrate their body, and it has nothing to do with marriage. Absolutely nothing. The person still want to get married. They don't want to get married to the person that they allow to penetrate their body that night, though. So, I mean, just
are you talking
when it comes to the body, I'm telling you, this sex thing and people getting your bodies is it's overrated in a lot of ways.
Are you talking from a male's perspective or like a general male and female perspective?
I mean, I know a lot of females, they let dudes penetrate their body, different ones, and they still saying they looking for a husband.
Yeah, good luck with that.
And
that's what I'm saying.
Alignment. and the reason why they're having issues is because they probably don't have the right strategy to get there.
No, I agree with you that
they believe their body is going to get them there.
They will sleep with somebody, and in the next sentence, the Sunday after, say they're looking for a husband. Like it's that's how people are. It's everybody that said they're looking for a husband or a wife. They don't necessarily eliminate having sex with people. They don't.
Well, they're not moving. They're not moving in the way to necessarily get the desired results.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of that, I agree with you. If you're not moving in that path, how are you gonna put yourself in the light of it? I mean, it's difficult. You say you want one thing, your actions say something else. I agree with you totally.
Mm-hmm.
But closing comments.
See, a lot of men.
I can't.
That's not me.
Oh,
it was unique.
Ain't me.
No.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'll do a closing comment. I really enjoyed the show tonight, especially the discussion with Nika's the Night and Dr. John, because that definitely, shed some more light on how people see things, the different perspectives. Let me put it that way. Yeah. And as well as some other things. It's just different. We're uniquely the same. Let me just say that. We're uniquely the same. And the last point is, no matter what you want, it seems like the people who are walking that path, they put themselves in the high probability of succeeding that, or at least running into those things that will assist them through the universe, their faith or whatever, to get that which they desire. I have to I'm all in about that. So, I lived through some hypocrisy myself, but I recognize that. So that's it for me.
Awesome. And on that note, we are going to close out the panel in our usual sense. We got Chris.
Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed the show. Again, my name is Chris. I have a YouTube channel called The Blooming Ebony, where we have conversations similar to this, but more so focused on femininity and growth, the different ways that you can get there. You can also find me on Instagram as well. Before you head out, make sure you hit that subscribe button for CKQ Podcast.
We got Neek is the Night.
Hey. Come check me out this Thursday. Just one married lady's opinions on Instagram. I am going to be interviewing. I don't know if y'all are into Instagram that much. Auntie Gina, 1960 is her tag name on Instagram. All she do is talk to ordinary people and smoke weed on that joint all day. But I'm talking about mastering your relationship with yourself. I actually talk about relationships. She's talking about relationships with myself. So come check us out at 10 p.m. next Thursday. Make sure you click on the like button for CKQ. Thanks for having me. But I wanted to end with a little bit as far as I cannot be all for the other person that I am with. I cannot the be all, the end all be all. That person has to take responsibility for themselves. I have to take responsibility for myself. And that does not mean that we don't belong together. That does not mean we can't even get on this path together. That just means we are in this life to learn about ourselves as well as be in relationship with somebody else.
You got the doctor.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You know where you can find me at. Mainly on Instagram, though, at behavior_consultant. And I have to agree with Yannick. We are to learn about ourselves. But if you single right now, don't discount yourself. address these 5 topics that I've been telling you about upfront. Why you dating before you make any kind of commitment, and if you align, you align. If you're not aligning, you ain't got to settle for that. Because facts don't care about your feelings, and if the fact is you're gonna be pissed off if this dude ain't what you or this woman ain't what you feeling, then why would you subject yourself to something like that? That's crazy. Love yourself more.
You got Danielle.
Hi. My bad. I came up here late, so it'd be hard for me to jump into the conversation when it's already going. I'd be so lost. But yeah, it's a good show. And I'll start being back on time because Ramadan's almost over.
Oh, okay. Oh, Ramadan. Oh, I didn't know that was going on. But hey, shout out to you for showing up, though.
Hey,
Williams.
It's your boy Todd Williams. I want to say come over to CKQ's podcast here on YouTube. And yeah, you'll have a voice, you'll have an opinion. We can learn, each one teach one. That's just what it is. We just over here sharpening up the stones as well as the steel, man. That's what we do. Hit the like button, subscribe. Just have some fun over here. It's some things. Well, I'm not gonna get into that. I'll wait. There's something coming up in the near future.
But there we go. That's a good. I like that. That's a good sign. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this show today on this Tuesday started at 8:30 p.m. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button to this channel for more content like this once a week, 8:30 Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And on that note, we're gonna close it out. Thank you for joining us, and you have a good night.
If we're doing everything right, I think we should be vetting our wives, like go to their parents, go to their fathers.
They know they shouldn't have let me start speaking my mind in the booth, start speaking the truth. Might get shot.
I think you're just saying, okay, actions have consequences, and I'm not going to support this person's actions. Like, you don't have to cancel them and say, like, I hate you.
Innocent lives have to die.
But the whole thing is men are I also. That man was on the other side doing the exact same thing, and his decision with his eyes was to walk away.
Inside your soul.
Now we can paint the perfect picture without belittling each other, because under God's system,
we are equipped to handle that responsibility, but not every man is fit to handle that responsibility.
I done seen Flint, Michigan, and just being cities. They pissing in project buildings that got a roof that leaks, resulting in missing ceilings. Hard to sleep. Children going to schools dealing issues deep.
So I think society does make it more difficult for short men, but I don't think that it's impossible that they could find someone.
And expecting you to do your part. It ain't hard to see they trying to keep black in the back, just like Rosa Parks. Cops shooting blacks as if they get a token from God. School rob you with needed resources.
Is the weaker vessel and the more vulnerable.
Absolutely.
Vessel.
100%.
You don't look at the man like, oh, poor son, you were violated. No, you like, bruh.
And nobody.
They shift my stick like some cars. And when you're lonely in your darkest thoughts, come, I know it's hard, but God shines his light on all that play their part. And it's the start.
Put myself in a situation where I can only rely on a man. Like, if I'm married and being a stay-at-home mom, I need to have a backup in case anything happens. I can't only rely on him. You know what I'm saying?
A flower will grow once you plant the seed inside your soul.
Poet, and the best part of me shows it. Here to speak the message of what is known, but not what it takes to expose it. Listen closer as I take you on a mental path. See divisions, the math, hoping we clash on lower levels, just like in the past. Before we begin to see spared lives, keep in mind the first 3 letters of unity starts with you.